Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans and pets alike, welcome to the coolest, greatest, baddest. Hello everyone, welcome back, welcome back. What's up Brinshaw, what's up Biz Walker, welcome everybody, welcome, welcome. All right, I'm gonna have to run away for now. What's up, What's up, Dropstar? How you doing? What's up, Anthony? Hello, Al. Hello, Lise. Welcome back. So I heard they changed the. They buffed this character's damage. I heard. Well, we'll have to test it out. We'll have to test it out, guys. This spell stun is longer now. Alright, my skill never goes on Pokemons, unfortunately. There we go. Get out of here. I really want to score for my attack weight. Not attack weight, special attack specs. There we go. And that's what I'm doing right here. So I think I have 4. Yep. Luckily I am protected against one singular stun. Alright. Here we go. I can't really get that, to be honest. Yeah. There we go. You got the score in. I probably have to leave for a second. What's up, Jason? How you doing? Welcome back. Dude, I do feel like the damage got increased. This is nice. Future Sight. Finally finished. Oh, look at that damage now. Dude, this is actually really nice. Store Power might just become the best skill in the game now. Okay. That's not enough damage, unfortunately. I'll give him that. 1 HP. Okay. Let me get this real quick. The plastic chicken. Bye-bye. That's 1. 2. Got a dread. Unite on top of it. Dude, store power is so good right now. This is goated. I love this. What's up, Spirit Away? Yeah, we're gonna start streaming around like noontime. You know, I think that's gonna be broken. Yep. We're gonna change our schedule going forward. This is a fantastic. Absolutely broken now with Pursuit. Is that so? Are you playing solo queue? Yeah, mostly. I will also play trio with Myth and Sam. Yeah. Get him, Wiggly. Yeah, Chris said Wiggly is not strong in lane. Even against Blissey. Our Wiggly is destroying them, you know? God damn. That's unfortunate. This guy's pursuit. I never paid attention. I was trying to rechat. That was criminal. Slow bro, stop him. There we go. Coming bottom. Huge. Our team's winning really hard. Alright. Pull with the 3rd month! You got a story? I got alcoholic. Don't be alcoholic. Do not be alcoholic, guys. Healthy amount of alcohol is fine, but never alcoholic, okay? Oh my god, this is so much damage. This is actually so nice. Holy. Okay. This guy's targeting me for some reason. I'm just gonna leave. Yep. Okay. There you go. Good job. Good job, Charizard. Not Charizard. Garchomp. Oh no, oh no. Oh no, my phone disconnected. Oh, that is criminal. 你有故事，我有酒杯。我懂你想说的意思。What's up, Haley? 欢迎来到直播间。What's up, Queen Hana? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome back. Yeah, I'm completely disconnected because of my connector. My connector is no good, guys. Well, thank you. He's letting me farm. I appreciate that. I have like 5 or 6 stacks. I'm definitely not gonna go chase him in the bush. That's kind of stupid. I do have Unite. I can use one more time though. Oh god. Drawdown damage cannot be underestimated. What's up, Romeo? How you doing? Welcome back, welcome back. What's up, Leo? Alcohol is fine in moderation. Yep. I had some alcohol this past weekend. It was fun. Unfortunately, I don't have Unite anymore. Gotta get it back. There we go. 10 seconds. Nice Unite. Alright, absolute targeting me, unfortunately. I'll try to help the team on Drawdown. Unfortunately, Garchomp ended up falling also. This is not the best, huh? What's up, Akira? Welcome back. What about Psybeam damage? Psybeam didn't get changed. I think I'm only playing whatever got changed. I made a mistake there. Bliss is too good, unfortunately. The cannon stun is too good on defense. There's not too much we can do about it. Yeah, there's not too much I can do about it. I need to play with Wiggly. Wherever Wiggly goes, I need to be there, you know? Just now top lane when I try to help and get those Aldino, get those bees was a mistake. Beam got buffed too? Was there a patch note somewhere? I checked UnitedDB and it's not there. Let's go to Cerebi. Ah, there it is. It's on Cerebi, guys. Alright, we're gonna do this one more time. This time I'll probably play a little bit more cautious. I'm gonna do one more game and then we're gonna react to Phil's video. Here we go. I don't even know how Cerebi get all this footage, but they do. Look at this. They have everything here. By the way, let me move my camera here to boom. Problem solved. I think I need to maybe add a little bit more background to the Restream chat, so it's less, so it has a little bit of background to it. Our team generally played well in this game. Yep, made some crucial mistakes. We can read this while we go. Let's go here. Restream chat. Alright, we're queuing up, guys. Meanwhile, let me change the setting here. There's some setting problems. Message background opacity. Oh no. Chat background opacity. Let's get 30%. Yeah, I like that. I like how that looks. Lunch. Okay. I think this should change it. Let me try it. Share box. Refresh. Interact. There it is. Alright. Now I have a little bit of background display messages with. It's pretty nice. Let's read the patch notes while we wait. So Absol, stats changed. Has user attack with blades formed by psychic power. Psycho cut. Pursue movement speed increased, strengthened. Range increased. So Pursue got a huge buff. Absol literally just become probably my favorite Pokemon to play then, because I love it. I love the Pursue build. It's always been something that I want to try. So this is nice. All right, I'm gonna play bottom. Let's go, Coffee! Thank you for the 5. Yeah, we're gonna go react to Phil's response to this whole thing. After this game, split open the ground towards the designated area. Rock bomb, rock tomb, area effect. Decreasing movement speed for a short time and creating a barricade. If the move is used again, the barricade is removed. Okay, you can remove it now. Change the strengthen this movement speed. Decrease the potent when it hits. Move upgrade. Stealth rock. Okay. Charizard damage decreased. All right. Charizard got a nerf, guys. So this Pokemon will play less. Serena. Get a nerf, well deserved. I think Stomp is too good actually. So next, Heavy Slam cooldown reduced, block cooldown reduced, Power Nap, Unite Charge rate increased, Effect duration increased, okay. Make it tankier basically. Side Shock, duration of effect increased, movement speed decreased, strengthened. Alright. Side Health did get changed. Side Shock, damage increased, Side Beam. Sword Power, damage increased. Okay, Side Shock got changed. Alright, let's go. Let's do it. Well, I should go bottom actually. I made a mistake. Alright, let's run. score. 1 point. Let's get the second stack real quick. That is so unfortunate, man. I didn't think this guy's gonna come in at all, to be honest. Yep. Yeah, I'm dead. That is unfortunate. That's quite unlucky. Metal Swan early game is so strong. I cannot stop him. This got store power. I'm only gonna hit the... Alright. This is so unfortunate. Yeah. Can I still be a top player now? Maybe. Go pal. Actually, me and my girl were both unlucky and caught COVID. We're in bad recovering. It's alright. It's alright. It's gonna pass. I promise. You're gonna feel a lot better soon. Yeah, my lane partner is not necessarily the greatest. Let's run. It's unfortunate. A little bit speed boost. What's up, Judah Rocks? That's cringe. Yeah, like I said, our lane partner, this guy is not really the best. Mammal Swan is too good. Mammal Swan solo carried a bottom lane too hard. There's not too much I can do about it. The difference of having a front line and not having a front line is huge. Bye bye. Thank you for that. Look at the tryhard kid. He's 1 HP. Blastoise just sits in the back and do nothing. Like that's usually what happens, right? In solo queue. And again, unfortunately, this character was not nerfed, so on Fire Spin, the chase distance makes no sense. By the way, it's already a large AOE, and the fact that it chases you all the way across like 2 map distances just does not make any sense. It's not justified. Alright, here we go. Get our Unite. That's good. Alright. Okay. So they're... Yeah, they have very beefy front lines. Very beefy front lines. It's making this whole process really difficult. Absol does kind of counter me with Unite move and stuff. Alright, get this one. Okay. Alright, I like store power. The damage is nice, guys. It's really nice. That's a lot of damage, you know? Unfortunately, they had like all 5 bottom. Dave, when will a supporter Pokemon arrives? I don't know. I think we are in desperate need for a speedster, if anything. There are only 4 speedsters left. Yep. All right. There you go. Store power was supposed to be strong. I know it's supposed to do a lot more damage than the other options, if anything. So the fact that he didn't do that for the longest time. There's a gazillion people bottom, unfortunately, I can't. Yeah, I actually can. It's really hard to play without a front line. Dave, do you know about Glaceon? What's up, true friend? How you doing? I'm here for the tea. All right. Hope you guys recover soon. Yep. It's gonna be I didn't want to talk about a lot of things publicly, but it was supposed to mostly stay like in a private sector, but Phil really didn't give me a lot of options, so we'll have to address some of the things, because the way how everything went down, like it's very criminal. It is very criminal, yeah. Now, for those who are already here, though, I do want to say first and foremost, if you want to blame me for the action of not joining war chat on the day, I take full blame for the action alone. Okay, like that's my active choice. It's like I know how cringe that is. I understand, and it's my active choice. So like, I'm ready to take on anything that you want to say about all that. Like, as I understand what I did. It's bad. Of course, yep. 17. Okay, spirit away. Look at those two tanks. I'm out of here. I don't really fight. I'm not really interested in Mammal Swine. These two are very interesting to me for some reason, but yeah, he's gonna unite, unfortunately. There you go. I got his unite. That's pretty good. Yeah, back to content. Guys, I don't recommend getting COVID. Yeah. Me neither. But sometimes it's not avoidable, guys. You did good not joining voice chat. I think our individual players' mechanics are still there. The biggest problem was, you know, a lot of it was communication, right? Bye bye. We're on fire set. So I'm gonna go home and then, you know, try to defend this. I don't know if it's enough to burst him down. Yeah, he saved them. But let me go top. There we go. Oh, look at those bursts. You love to see those. All right. That's unfortunate. I think Absol scored in his points too, so we should still be in the green. All right. There are a lot of contacts that was not. Yeah, good job, Absol, for scoring that point. Absol scored because I scored and Absol scored, so we overcapped, and we already had a before that, so it was okay. We won by 5 points, you know, but a win is a win, you know? Good job. All right. All right, guys, it's time. It's time to talk about this, okay? So here, we're gonna do this in, I think this is what we're gonna do. Yeah, 泡茶了, let's go. Let's talk about my response to all this, okay? The reason why I want to discuss it, like I said, I wrote something because my action was generally portrayed as just the action alone, and then after previous pro experience, or should I say, like what I did in pro teams or playing game competitively, playing Wild Rift, playing all those different games, I never wanted to like come to Unite. I want to take a different approach where I didn't want to get involved in a lot of drama. Like in Pokemon, in League of Legends Wild Rift, for example, I was one of the most vocal content creator, right? Similar to Crashy, but from like I think extremely similar to Crashy, right? But then that experience taught me something different. Like I grew from it because I learned there's a different expectation between us as content creators and then developers. So I grew from it. But there are a lot of different experience I had in the past 5 years playing competitively. And then when it comes to Pokemon Unite, I want to make sure I don't bring out that much drama, right? So most of the time, when things happen, for example, when people ask why Pika left the team, why we kicked Glock, and then all that kind of stuff. Like I didn't want to discuss it publicly, and then I don't really want to address them publicly, right? Because I want to give people the best chance, best option forward. Because it was just everything was done in private. So yesterday, when I watched, like I didn't see because I was so. This entire experience left me so speechless. You know, I was very hurt, and I understand that my teammates were hurt, and then rightfully so. For a lot of this entire thing, I think the foundation was not built right, and as a person who started this team, a lot of it was my fault because I didn't start a foundation right. The expectation from the players and then in the team are different. It didn't really align, right? So what a lot of teams, what a lot of players like Fui, like Sam, or Myth wanted from a team, or me, for example. Like I generally align with them. I thought I didn't align with Fui and Sam and Pika and Myth before, but like after playing a while, I realized it's really hard. It's not who I am to just fully do content. We're completely for fun. Like when I play MOBA, like naturally I'm way too competitive to not treat mobile games seriously. You know, so as you can see during the game, it's really hard for me to multitask. I simply can't because there are a lot of things in the game that I need to focus on. So I think the foundation of the team was not built right. I think that's a major reason why this bitterness accumulated for a long period of time to this point. And then it exploded 5 days before the finals. And then, which resulted in what happened the past weekend. And I don't have solid. There are a lot of things I still don't want to show on public. Again, because going forward, I only want to build a more positive community. So there are a lot of things that I would not show, but I will mainly address a few things and then react to Phil's video because Phil reacted to what I wrote, and then and he was talking about a lot of things like were out of context in a very superficial level. And then when I talked to him on Discord, the thing he said was he was just talking about facts, and then he was talking about some basic facts or whatever, right? So basically, like I guess what I want to say is if you look at action alone from the outskirt, from the outside, I take 100% of the blame for not joining voice chat, and then I apologized to Phil, to the team basically, except for Fui. The moment I made that decision, because I really couldn't take it, it was way too much stress to me mentally, and then just the fact that I have to be in the proximity or have access to the same voice chat with someone like Fui tilted me so hard that I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. It was it was cringing. It was cringing me too hard, and I don't know how to explain it. I had I would say panic attack. Yeah, in a way, where I did what I think my brain act in a way where it was the most protective of me in a way, because I couldn't handle the pressure that was accumulated all this time. Map and facts, before you attack me, I know, and it's okay. Like, I want to tell our mods today, like, do not mute or ban anyone because if they have negative opinions. But let's not go into personal attack, okay? Let me explain everything in a broader context, and afterwards you can have your opinions. Is that okay? So, but let me put it this way. This world is all we worked for. This entire regional, right? I understand our team was never built to have the best shot at it. Like I said, the foundation was wrong, and then it was my fault for not seeing it through, right? For building a foundation like this. It's like playing Minecraft for the first time. When I don't know like how to lay out any foundations, so just trying everything, you know. But now let me explain the foundation of the team, like why I was wrong, and we're gonna go into the reaction of Phil's video. So the team was first made, and I'm gonna go ahead and just open up this article, so like that I wrote, so everybody can follow along the logic of what I explained here. Right here. I can close that. Right here we go. So when I wrote, first of all, the title regarding the truth, is mainly because I received way too many personal attack on things that's only related to the action alone. Again, I didn't want to explain the background, and that was partially my fault to not do it ahead of time, to not seek for help. I shut off a lot of friends. I think that's one of my biggest weaknesses in a way. When I have struggles, instead of looking to friends for help, I try to handle it myself before I can go to my friends, because I feel a sense of disappointment. I feel like I let my friends down in a lot of ways. So I don't really talk to like a lot of, like, for example, there's one close friend called Tyler that my people know, if you're OG viewer, you would know. And then Tyler was asking me about something really important, but obviously throughout this whole thing, I wasn't able to respond to Tyler, so I left this message unread for a longest time because I want to read this message later. So I actually, in a way, shut off a lot of friends like after, because of training for regionals and stuff. But one thing I want to tell you is I value this regional more than like anything I did in a long time. This is my last chance, last attempt at esports. Let me put it this way. After this, like, I was not planning to do any more competitive. Basically, this was it. So I gave it my best shot. I tried my best. I literally slept for 4 hours days, 5 hours days, or just not sleep at all, getting yelled at by my Miss Assassin, by my girlfriend, right, for not going to sleep, to talk to team about certain things, to work on strategies, to talk about how we play top lanes, to talk about we need to wake up on time. All this stuff, like talk about different strategies, how we can like help different players, I mean, on our team to get over different hurdles, right? Because I wanna win. I think our team has a chance if we play seriously. but that's not what happened. Because here's the background story, right? When we're reading the truth, the truth is only about my perspective of what happened, and I want to explain like what happened, a little bit of background, but this is not the whole truth, right? It's just basically a streamline of the story. So I want to talk about the background of the story. Fair and Famous as a team was first made because few friends wanted to make content and play together for fun. We did not intend to really go competitive. So me, Phil, Miss Liz, and then basically it's called Lizbeth, and then Solo, Myth. We started as a team for fun in a way, right? Myth always wanted to play competitive, but I just for Unite, I just want to do content and have fun, right? Like I wasn't actually want to do competitive, but when I played the game, when I actually started playing the game, I realized how simple the game was, right? There's not too much mechanics. The overall rotation is very, very simple. So as all-time MOBA competitive players, I thought this might be a good chance, but I never really put too much thought to it because our team wasn't equipped to do it, right? We're in the same team with. We're in a content team basically, right? We have Liz, we have Solo, we have Phil, we have me, we have Myth, and we're just playing whatever, right? When we knew at the time 8 months ago when Lucario was absolutely the strongest, with no other options, we never played it, and I was not really happy about it, but also I wasn't really disappointed. You know, it was just what it is, right? Because we're doing it for content. But when I realized this game when we can go competitive for the one last time while making content at the same time because they don't really conflict with each other, we can still stream and play competitive. And when Fui and Sam Fui first approached me, said, "Dave, do you want to make a competitive team together?" I said, I gave it a really serious thought. Asked Phil about it, and then and asked some other friends, and we thought it was a good idea. So that's the first mistake because Phil never wanted to play competitive, and so Fui and Sam wanted to play competitive, and because of what they asked me, it initiated my passion for competitive again, and I wanted to play competitive. So it started off that way. Because I wanted to play competitive due to what Fui and Sam asked, but Phil never wanted it, right? So you can see the way he played, and the team was never. When you have two different goals as a singular team, it's like piloting a ship, or that want to go, that have two different group of people that want to go two different directions, but there's only one ship, so the ship is bound to sink, right? And that's why we had so much dramas all the time. That's the foundation of it. So when I explained this background and history right here, this was just to explain that the foundation was not built right, But at the time, I wanted to give it our best shot, and I was ready to solve all this, to face all the challenges that may come with it. Like I said. I talked about in the second paragraph. There were a lot of challenges that we face, like any other team would face to their own problems. So number one is at the time when we first have Fui and Sam join the team, we're switching positions. Number two is Phil and Fui both hate meta characters for different reasons. I don't know why Fui never saw Lucario as a meta character, even though. Every single team did, no matter how they used it, but every single team did. But Fui didn't see, he truly didn't like Lucario as a character. He just think it sucked, right? Which we still don't know why. Eventually he realized it doesn't suck. It has a really good purposes, right? Phil didn't like meta characters because he treated Pokemon Unite more like a Pokemon game. He had a lot of emotional attachment to different Pokemons than playing this game as a mobile game. You see, I've explained this before. For me, Pokemon Unite is my first Pokemon game. For me, this first and foremost is a mobile game. Is a mobile game than Pokemon game, and I just have the opportunity to play Unite and to get to learn about different Pokemons. Most of the Pokemon's names and then their attributes I heard about for the first time. I have never heard about Aldino. I still, to this day, don't know what the red buff, blue buff's names is. I don't know what it is. I simply don't know what it is. Because I did not know their character names. This is my first Pokemon games, but MOBA is MOBA. MOBA is MOBA, right? There are certain principles that carry through all of them. You know, for example, this game is similar to any other MOBA in a way. There's no vision. You have to go to the bush to check vision, and all of that Phil did not know coming into this game, right? Because he never played any MOBA competitively or to any competitive level. So this game for him is more of a Pokemon game. The reason, but I always liked Phil a lot because I think he's one of the most mature ones among every single streamers, or should I say pro players in Unite. Because there are a lot of Unite players who are playing this game very, very seriously and then giving up job, giving up school, giving up everything just to play Unite, which I still don't understand to this date. You know, like we like Unite, but I never understood why people do that. And Phil didn't do it, so I thought he was a smart kid. You know, I always respect him for it. You know, because he focused on the content, he focused on the bag, which is something that I didn't do when I was younger. I was naively just following esports alone. Like wherever there are esports, I would go. I was basically GG, the member of GGs, right? Who just play seriously because you really wanted to win. They're really competitive and forget about the reality of life, which is like in any game, to be honest, there's always going to be one winner, and you really have to a lot of it's really luck, right? Do you have the perfect team? Do you have to make the perfect team? Do you have to be in the right place at the right time with the right people? So I always respect him for it. But as our team built together, it had a lot of wrong foundations. Okay, but again, I still respect Phil to this, and even now, for his focus in life, to be successful, like in real life, right? To not focus on the game. But remember, we have set out to play esports. When I talked to Phil, and after we made the decision to have Free and Sam in the team, we basically, as a team, decided, okay, we're gonna pilot the ship towards a competitive way. Right, to go competitive, but also make content at the same time. If that makes any sense, or you might say this is a decision I made myself, but everybody agreed to it. Yeah, but that's the background to it. Okay. So there are these problems that we had were never really fixed because again, there are two different directions for the team. And then in Phil's video, which we're going to react in a little bit, he addressed about, he said this paragraph was something I said regarding, like, I have to innovate different characters due to our limitations on draft, because we don't play meta characters. And he said, everything I do is innovation, everything he does is not. And he said, I disrespect his opinion, which is something that cannot be further away from the truth. If I disrespected Phil's opinion, if I disrespected Phil's opinion, when we decided to go pro, when I decided I want to give esports one last shot, I would have removed Phil right there and then. Everything he said, what you guys didn't see on the surface, when Phil said we brushed off his opinion in his video, in his live stream yesterday, what he didn't say is every time he mentioned something, we would spend hours, if not tens of hours, to discuss the things that he want to do. When he want to do Blastoise Defender, when he want to do a different kind of like Delphox Defender, all this kind of Defender, we spend hours to discuss this type of stuff. And not me alone. The team as a whole mostly disagree with him, right? Because he tried to make different character work in certain roles, because he didn't treat this game as a mobile game, especially mobile MOBA. There's certain principle that never changes. Right, like a certain role need to fit in certain role need to fit in certain, like do certain jobs for the team in order for that role to be called that role. You know, so I don't know if that makes any sense. For example, when Phil wanted to play Trevenant, even though Trevenant is one of the weaker laner in the early game, I never had objections when he said I wanted to play a Blastoise with Surf. I never had objections. I don't know if you guys made. I don't guess if you guys noticed those days. Even he played those Pokemons like when we're not prepared for it. But I never had objections because it made sense in like in a broader scheme of MOBA. If that makes any sense. But basically, I never disrespected him, and all the ideas that he brought up was discussed for hours and hours and hours on end. And for our team alone, it's not that our team like it's not that my innovation was innovation. It's not innovations. I simply said here that a lot of people know me as Charizard main, Gardevoir main, Gengar main. But if you were here since the very beginnings, you know, for three people do, Wayne, Malera, all those people who were here in the very, very beginning when I first streamed, you guys knew I truly never played those characters. I was actually what do you call a Greninja main and Cinderace main. I was a Hyper Carry main because I played other MOBAs too. I understand the power of like Hyper Carries to win this type of games. So yeah, it's next notes too. So I never played those characters. It's not innovation I did. It's simply adjustments to what our team required due to the limitation that we had. It was never innovations. To put it in a different way. My English is not that good. I don't have a lot of words to describe what we did. So even the word adjust, came to me naturally. But yeah, I was talking to Sam, and Sam mentioned this word. I think it's a much better word to describe the situation. It was, yeah, if I call it innovation, it was not innovation. It was just adaptation. That's a better word to describe it. Because we're limited to a lot of choices that we had. We made them work because I spent hours and hours thinking about strategies. Like you can ask anyone on the team till this day how many times before the stream I asked our team to not stream and first talk about strategies, because I spent hours just like researching them and I'm watching different. I watched all the tournaments from different regions and then see the pros and cons of different Pokemons. Came up with strategies and compiled them and talked to our team because I want to win. Not joining the regionals, like I said, it was the biggest. Hit me the hardest in my team and in me, like personally. And then the reason why I decided to give it up completely because I was literally having a mental breakdown. I couldn't take it anymore. It hit me so hard that something I worked so hard for crumbled in front of my eyes. Based on what 你现在多少岁? How old are you? I'm 30. So crumbled in front of my eyes where I cannot see. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm so lost. I was so lost for 3 weeks after our qualifiers. Yeah. So I simply did not know what to do. And the best solution forward I thought was my mind told me at least was screw it. Let's just not play this anymore. I'm sorry. Like it is what it is. Right? But then again, also the paramount of guilt I felt towards my team, especially to like, I know everyone that, you know, the reason why I didn't kick Phil earlier, again, I loved him as a younger brother. So a lot of things that he did, we tolerated, right? As a team. Just ask any pro players. Now the regional is done. Just go ask Blackhand. What would you do to a player if your tank, if your defender tells the team that I'm not going to play Blissey? What would happen to that defender player? Also like you can ask any coach or any pro player what would happen if you're like in a team if your top player didn't want to play the Pokemon that's needed for the team. No, I'm going to explain all the background. 我会继续玩大姐姐. I'm just explaining the background of things, okay? Because this is gonna take about an hour, so get your popcorns, get your teas. I want to explain it thoroughly because again, Phil only showed the action and he said he was hurt, and I believe his hurt was real. But I think there's a lot of it, and I take the blame for what I did for not joining the voice chat. It hurted me more than anything I could imagine, but that was the only option I had. I couldn't take it anymore. It was not really ego related. I literally didn't want to play United anymore. It completely broke my mental related to anything to this game. If I touch the game, if I talk to my team, there's something that is twisting in my brain that is like rotting inside of it. Like I was feeling so much pain listening to one word, one more word, like on stream of different kind of cringe stuff, right? When we're trying to play 5, I'm sorry. At a certain time, like I do break mentally. Like this was one of the few times I actually experienced that anxiety so hard that I think I broke on Monday, and I will explain the details of it. Okay, and I will show some comments of what happened. Okay, but basically, the long story short, everything that we did, we don't play meta Pokemons, we don't have Blissey, that's all fine, right? I accept it as it is. You have to understand, I accept it as it is, but we made adjustment to what our team's limitations are, right? So basically, if we make changes, at least after we qualify for the finals, I told our team, let's try our best. Right? We in voice comm, in our team comm, in our team group chat, I said, guys, we have 3 weeks till finals. Let's give it our best, and hopefully let's not troll, and let's just have 3 weeks of try-hard games, and then let's show the world that we're built different, that we can play some off-meta picks, and we can make it work as long as we practice. During the time, we do realize how strong, like how insurmountable Blissey is in the meta. So we have begged Phil to let's try to play Blissey, even though it never worked. So he eventually did a simplicity 1 hour of a Blissey after like 40 hours of begging, right? And he said, okay, this doesn't work. This cringe me, so I'm done. That's literally what happened. Everybody in the team would attest to this. By the way, Descarto, I apologize to individual players, except for including Phil, except for Fui. Yeah, so let's quickly go over the timeline. 3 weeks after qualifiers, Phil said, I mean, he wanted to relax for a week, and I think the team agreed to it, so it's okay, you know. But the first week we're trolling. Number 2 weeks until the finals, I had a talk with the team establishing let's try hard. But instead, what we did was not a single game of trying hard, right? We really couldn't. If you ask Sam, Free, Myth, we have to come to a compromise with Phil to do 1 hour of try hard. Even then, we were not really trying that hard. But we have to come to a compromise with Phil to do 1 hour of try hard and 2 hours of trolling of content to his standard. So if you say that I disrespected Phil and then I did everything my way, I want to tell you that action speaks louder than words. It was really not that simple. We did everything to compromise, to find the best place for everyone, you know, so they can have the best mental attitude. But even then, we didn't really go forward. We didn't really practice anything that we want to try. It to the point where the 1 week before the finals, we had a trial tournament, right? And we played in the trial tournament. Before the tournament, I told the team that, guys, let's just have fun in the tournament and see what other team do. We watch a tournament and then we want to see, because we don't even know what we're going to play. You have to understand, at this point, we wasted 2 weeks, and within a 3 week period before that we can prepare for the finals. We already wasted 2 weeks. That was not practice. We wasted 2 weeks already doing absolutely nothing but troll. And then we have 1 week to practice, right? We have 1 week to practice. So at the 1 week before the finals, I told the team, let's have this tournament for fun and learn what our team do, and then come to a comp and then play seriously. So 1 week until final, which is Monday. So I want to explain to a lot of people who are asking, Phil wasn't the only one goofing around, there was, regarding goofing around, like I said, I don't blame Phil completely for it, but he does act as a majority role in that specific aspect. Because remember, the foundation was built wrong. I explained the foundation. The reason for the foundation was because people want different things, right, in this game. Phil, before each stream, Phil will come to the group chat and then make a thumbnail, Crosso today. And he will come to our team, right? He make a thumbnail with Crosso. He will say, I'm Crosso today. That's what he will say. And he will leave us just like that. The entire team will have to deal with the fact, oh, Phil is playing Crosso today, so I guess we're trolling. So everybody else is goofing around as well. That's the foundation of how we go into every single team stream. Because we can't convince him, Willem. Listen, I don't pay anyone salaries, right? It's even though we're using my team name, but it was basically 5 friends playing together. Right? I cannot force Phil. And I say, Phil, I'm gonna kick you now. If you don't play this character. Again, I liked him and I respected him, so I kept him around. And I will show you some screenshots, and you guys will see that will actually shock you, that you have never seen before. Because Phil showed a lot of screenshots that's completely out of context. But I want to show you some screenshots of what the team felt at the time, this entire 8 month, about how we are as a team. There are a lot of things that people did not know as a background. Yeah, and I will show all of them. I start streaming about two hours earlier than usually 1 or 2 hours earlier before Phil every time. And I play solo queue. I do every single Pokemon I need to play for that day. Like whatever fun I want to have. And during 5-man practice, we play something different. Because 5-man is not about yourself. It's about the team, right? We play stuff that fits the team. We play stuff that can win the tournament. And there's no argument. Nobody else would argue that. The reason why you guys would think like other people was goofing around, because we walk into every single stream knowing that this was not going to be a serious 5-man practice. Gibzo, here is my thing regarding Crosso. Crosso, I can show you Sam's screen. I can show you my conversation with Sam on certain picks, okay, or any other players. It's not that I didn't hear about it, Gibzo. Why is that we are the only team who did it in the entire tournament? Are you saying other teams are just so dumb that they do not see Crosso as a valid pick? If it's so good at ripping objectives, you know? So you got to understand, there are certain things about certain characters. It's not that, and we discussed this for hours and hours, like before stream, because I have a screenshots of our viewers, of our members, tell me that we don't discuss it privately. We do these things like in public only, and it's to make so much drama. And that's just not true, because we don't show them. Just because we don't show hours and hours of discussion, because we don't even want to involve our audience, doesn't mean we didn't do that. Doesn't mean I didn't initiate those. Doesn't mean I didn't personally spend like probably 8-10 hours every day doing research. Like, you have to understand, a lot of things were just not discussed in public. Didn't mean it didn't happen. All right, but I do want to quickly run down the timeline. The timeline was on Monday, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna answer all your questions like in a little bit. Okay, so if you have anything that you want to say after I finish what I want to say here, ask away, and I will be answering all of those. Dave goes 0-4 with the comp. Phil 6-0 with the comp. Dave, this game is about composition. Red Kirby, there are a lot of things. You can use certain. By the way, that's first of all, wherever skewed number. That's not true. Number 2, I want to address that, yes, if that is so good, if we beat all the teams with it, why any other team don't use it? Can you answer me that? I don't think you can, because there's no legitimate reason. I am a competitive player in and out. I cannot sit here and play troll comp and try to make it work and practice the troll comp 24/7. you got to understand there were like, if you want to do Crustle, I never had too much problem with that comp, because it's a very niche scenario, and it can happen. It can work in certain ways, in certain conditions, if you catch enemy by surprise. But that's not something we should practice for 24/7. No other team does that, except for us, right? So let's quickly run down the streamline, and then I'll answer all your questions, all your criticism afterwards. But let me finish. Thank you. So 1 week TL finals. I had another talk with the team on Sunday, right? Saturday. So we're trying hard. On Monday, this is what happened. On Monday, when we started playing before the game, first of all, we have a late show from Myth due to work, right? And he came up, and then Fui showed up as well. He didn't play with us when we were playing with our subs and stuff, just to practice, just to warm up. So when Fui finally showed up, I obviously naturally want to get in a good mood, right? Because that day, I remember our members were cheering us up, were warming us up to, especially I think, credit to Foxo. They even sent a lot of donations to say, Dave, cheer up, and then hope this send you off on good practice today. So I was in a really good mood going into the practice, because I thought the talk, what we practiced for as long as we did, and then when we go into the day one of Monday of practice, when I said we need to try hard, you guys can watch the links, by the way, the timestamps. I literally called Fui like names by, I don't remember how many times, but many times. He never responded, and eventually, like he just woke up, right? He responded something I couldn't really understand, but at least he responded. And then once we get into the game, a lot of people were arguing about the play. Some people saying I was toxic in the end. I was toxic in the end, and I took blame for that. For what I said to Sam, I said I was telling Sam to shut up, and then because I was getting really tilted at the time, and you guys have to understand the progression of why that was. The whole thing that resulted to that point was because before we get into the practice, I thought it was our last week of practice. Everybody on board to practice really hard, right? And what will happen is, at that time, when Fui came in, wasn't really mentally ready. So I would try to warm him up. And once we were in the game, the first thing that he did was like dying top on command, right? He died top knowing the enemy, because the first 2 games that we played were on the green side, we're on the grassy side. So he died top due to the enemy jungler gank. For those who do not understand, I have explained this in my writing too. If you don't play, if you haven't really think about the difference between the map, if you're on the green side, the jungler usually gank 5 to 10 seconds later than the other jungler, no matter how you do it. Just because how the map is laid out. The only way to not make it happen is you only do one camp and you go top. But if you do it that way, it kind of screw up the jungle timer. And then it screw up the jungle timer. It also allows the enemy to invade your other buff, because your other buff is still left open, right? It happens many times. So we came to a conclusion, me and Fui, we spent hours trying different strategies, and we came to a conclusion as a team, including me and Fui, how we play the green side. I do 2 buffs, right? Do Lily Puff, do 2 buffs, and then do other core fish. This allows me to get close to level 5, and I won't do the other core fish. I'll leave that to Fui. Have him play defensively top, and I'll leave that to Fui so he can get close to level 5. He will do that core fish, he will get a last hit on it, and then he will go to the top side and get his own core fish, and he will get to close to level 5. So the whole thing was rehearsed, practiced, discussed, talked about 1,000 times. It just left us, at the time for the week of practice, I was expecting us to pull through on the game plan and work on those practice. But what we did instead on Monday was Fui came in not ready, and he started dying on command. He basically forgot everything that we practiced and went to do what he did. And after he died, he blamed the team for it. Game 1, I didn't say anything. Game 2. He did it again, right? And he blamed the team for it, and I couldn't take it anymore. I said, because I thought we're practicing seriously. So apparently, if we forget everything that we talked about in game 2, when we started the second game, we're on the green side again, right? So again, naturally, I'm gonna be behind on rotation. So I told Fui, hey, remember they're gonna gank you early, and you guys can go back to listen to what he said from that point on. The argument I had with Fui afterwards was never related to the play itself. It was never related to, okay, should I do 2 camps and just go straight top? We have already discussed this. So I've already done it many times. We compliment our team all the time, John, off stream, on stream too, all the time. Just because certain things didn't add up doesn't mean doesn't show like, you know, right at the moment. Doesn't mean it never happens. So what happened was Sam did not really pay attention to why the argument started, and I can show the proof of that, of Sam admitting to that. And he went ahead on a tangent discussing about how, look at Toon, right? He would do 2 camps and then he would go top. Dave, why don't you do that? I thought we discussed this. I was literally so bombarded in my brain because I was already kind of tilted. I was like, why are we talking about this? You have to understand, at that time, because I exposed him, he blamed us, and I got so tilted, I called him dumbass, which again, I apologize for my language. And I even used the F word, and I added money to my donation pool, and I would donate that to charity every time I used the F word. But remember, the time that when that was brought up, like when I was so absolutely tilted, was because Fui wasn't admitting to that he didn't follow the plan through, and he was doing the opposite, going back to to before we had any discussion, which is like a few months ago, right? And then he was doing a complete polar opposite of what we discussed, what we're supposed to practice. And I warned him not to do it. And instead, after the game, he went ahead and blamed everyone on the team except for him. So to shut him off, I went on a very aggressive rant. And it was my fault that happened, but I did it to shut him up because I couldn't take it anymore. It was directly at that time to. I was just so tilted. So I told him that I said bad words, and I said, you know, and I exposed the clips. I said, look at this. I showed it on stream, right? So people understood what he said. So people understood, okay, including the team, understood why the enemy jungle always come down level 8, level 9. Why we can't even rotate bottom. It happened under a context that Fui didn't admit to, that I didn't want to bring it up because I want to keep the morale up, right? Morale, or whatever you want to, however to pronounce that word. I didn't want to bring this up, but it happened. And I'm the one who have to deal with it because I go top lane, right? So when Sam went on a tangent discussing something that's completely irrelevant to the argument, that's basically defending Fui with no reasons. And then at the exact same time, Phil played a good guy, right? At the exact same time, he was trying to break up the argument, and then in a way that I'm trying to keep the team morale up, but that's not how the thing works. At that time, it was not the right time and right place to do that kind of stuff. I told him in DM, I said, playing the good guy, I understand. It's like that's something I respect and appreciate about Phil being Phil, but it's not the time to do it. You got to understand how tilted I was to take partially the blame for not doing anything. I was just trying to remind Fui that let's practice our game plan. We have only 1 week, right? And he didn't follow up on the plan. Phil naturally didn't pay attention to any of the plan that we discussed. Sam wasn't paying attention at that time. So they were discussing stuff that was completely out of the context of the game, out of the practice. And I have to take blame for it. The whole thing, the entire time when I was tilted by Fui leaving, right? He quit. By the way, he left the group chat. He left our team. He left our team chat, right? The where we discuss all the strategies and stuff. He basically quit our team. And I was asking, can we get a sub? But it turned out we cannot get a sub, right? So the tournament didn't allow subs. So at the time, you have to understand, my entire the entire time when I was so told I was pressured, but Sunday I got a reset because we know we're going to try hard on Monday. We're going to try at least for 1 week to do our best for the tournament. The whole time, the whole 18 month that we change our roster, change our strategy, do everything just to play this tournament. It dawned on me that we are not going to be able to join the tournament anymore. You know how tilting that was at that time? And then you have two people coming out to defend the person, the very person that made it happen, that added all that stress when we're in such a good mood to turn it all around. I didn't quit the game, right? I didn't quit the team right at the time when Free left, right? Even though I argued, but I still played the game, because you guys remembered. I played the game with Jurek as a sub, right? And Jurek was trolling, so like, in that time I was listening to them like laughing it off and all that. You know how tilting I was as a person who valued this tournament so much, who put everything on it, not just to win, but just to give it our best shot. At the time, to listen to people laugh it off. And put 50% of blame on me for saying bad words, I guess. Like, I'm sorry. I took the blame for saying what I said. I took the blame for, I will take the blame for not joining the voice chat, like I said. Their toss, at the time, I couldn't voice those concerns. That's on you, Dave, not them, he said. You should have voiced those concerns then, not to crash the team's chance at the end. You gotta understand, this is something I want to show you. Here's a voice chat between me and Phil. Okay? Because show the voice chat, and I'm gonna show the same voice chat. This is June 14th. Okay? This is basically second day after we had our problem. I want to show you when this was discussed that it was not a last day decision. This was discussed way ahead for one night I couldn't sleep, Monday, and for Tuesday the whole day I was really thinking about it because I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. So let's read this together. Phil said, "Don't say shit you can't take back." I understand. Like, thinking back, the Glock situation too, kicking basically on spot is so fucked. And also this was discussed for hours and hours and hours, okay? Before this decision was made. The thought of ever being in the same chat room with this human debris disgusts the very existence of me. It's like sitting in the same room with some really, really bad words. Shit is unbearable. Dave, if you value me as a friend, play out the last 3 days and we can do whatever afterwards. I said, by the way, excuse my language. I was really, 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 really sad at the time, but I want to say it obviously is in a full context. I will play without voice chat. Just tell me what it is I need to do. And he said, okay, just mute Free and Sam. Keep comms up and we'll try our best. Till I do. And I said, I'm done talking about this. I will not join in voice chat. I said, I will play without voice chat. This is on Tuesday. This was on Tuesday. This was right after Monday. I told the team that the only way I can continue playing this tournament was if I don't get to join voice chat. Okay? So this was warned ahead of time, and he brushed off. Let's freaking go. I'm not going to join voice chat. I can play. Just let me know. I reminded him that's the decision that we made. And then he never responded to this, right? He just said, let's surprise the world, dude, you gotta be in voice chat. I'm not telling you to shot call, blah, blah, blah. I love you, Dave, whatever, been playing together daily for so long. Afterwards, we can do content stuff, we can do a podcast. Free is down to play. Can you stop saying he quit? He quit in a moment, but he's down to play. And I said again, I have to move this right here. I will not play with voice chat. Does it make any sense? This was discussed on Tuesday. I told Sam the same thing. I told the team the same thing, that I will play, but I will not join voice chat. I simply can. I explained my mental at the time. If I join I literally had a mental breakdown where I simply cannot play anymore. I couldn't bear to be in the same room with Fui. The whole thing, he literally he literally started all this, and then Sam and Phil broke my brain completely by defending that type of behavior. Like, I was still gonna play. I understand that Fui was just being free for the day at the time. We were gonna be on the second day and it just come back, right? But they defended such behavior where, I don't know, it crossed the line, it crossed the bottom line for me where I couldn't do it anymore. I just couldn't. So let's continue to talk about this. I will play without voice chat. This is the same conversation, right? He said, do you want to play 5 today with no voice chat? He basically finally accepted the fact that I told him that I cannot do it. This is for me to stay sane. I cannot play anymore. I want to show you the facts, not blaming others, but show you the facts. So if I want to show you the facts is blaming others, then so be it. Other people have the right to show what happened. I can show screenshots too. I literally, like I said, the whole event broke my mental to a point where I didn't want to be in the same room with Free anymore. He's so freaking hard to work with. At the time, it was so fucked up for me. To be in the same room, to be in the same room is, it's okay. Like, let's not focus on it anymore. I cannot show you my mental, there's not a gauge to show you my mental stress at the time. Just remember this, guys. Action speaks louder than words. I did everything I could up to the tournament as a team captain to think about strategies to keep the team alive, right? To keep the team together, to play the best comps that we can to the limitation of our picks. I'm gonna turn on this. I'm turning on the app webcam so I can pin this. I can pin this comment. Just so you know, this is not done out of a whim. All right. I first said I will play without voice chat, right, repetitively on Tuesday, and he accepted it. Do you want to play today with no voice chat? Let's play starting tomorrow. This whole thing, it was agreed upon way ahead of time. It was not something that was discussed, that was just like, okay, I'm gonna ruin everybody on a tournament day way ahead of time, right that day. It was a surprise. The fact that they blew it out of proportion on that day, it was like that was some kind of surprise, was not cool. And obviously everything was shown in the screenshot, you know. And let me show you. Now, with that being said, I think let's not react to Phil's video in the end, right? Let's just talk about the whole timeline and then like how things that really went down. Okay, so I introduced the background. So with that being said, my logic is not that great. So I'm gonna go ahead and show what Sam said about the situation. So I didn't get to watch Phil. I didn't get to watch Sam's Phil stream, by the way, at the time, because the whole weekend I couldn't even open Unite anymore. I was so total on mine that my last chance of esports is completely ruined because of everything that happened. Anyways, this was today, 2 a.m. in the morning. Sam, I saw your comments on Phil's stream. I'm truly disappointed and sad to see how things went, and I'm disgusted by how Phil simply monetized the situation, and he supported him. You and Free wanted him replaced for the longest time due to legitimate reasons, but I respected and loved him, so he was captain of the team. Let me ask you this. If you make another team, would you even invite Phil? Why all of a sudden you're on his side for everything that happened to our team? Why spending 40 hours begging for 1 hour Blissey is okay? And why you're playing Blissey and he plays whatever is okay in the last few days of the practice? And I have to join voice chat just because somehow this will magically win us games. Why? So I sent this to Sam asking his opinion on this. And this is what Sam said. I'm not even sure what I wrote, but I just more so told that he was streaming drama, so I decided to take a look. Usually I don't go looking for drama. Yes, me and Fui, even Pika at one point, thought it was best to kick Phil because there was difference in goals. Some of us wanted to play seriously and grind worlds, while Phil wanted to go for content. And I believe you wanted to try hard for worlds too, no? That is correct, by the way. I wanted to try for worlds. So, but you said Phil brought too much value to get booted. But you're stating now that the reason you didn't want to boot him as a team leader is because you respected and loved him. Yes, I respected and loved him, and I think he brought a lot of energy to the team. Like I said, I respected the value. I give credit where credit's due. For those who say I disrespected Phil, I disrespected his opinion. If that was the case, Phil would not be in the team a month ago. You have to understand, when we made a decision to go towards to actually play this tournament, the whole championship series, this whole world thing as a team, the direction of the team kind of changed. And I said, I blamed it partially on me because, like I said, the foundation was wrong. At the time, if we want to go competitive, then we should just have two different teams. Me and Phil probably just do content. And if I want to join the esports team, we shouldn't have a pro team or competitive team. We shouldn't have Phil in it. But at the time, I wanted Phil because I trusted Phil to learn and adapt to the situations. He came in not really have any competitive experience or play any game to any competitive levels. He didn't understand a lot of things that Fui and Sam or Mitz came in understood. So I spent hours off the stream explaining to Phil one-on-one and as a team about why certain comps doesn't work and why we shouldn't focus on practicing them. Even with Crossel, like I said, we can play it, but it should never be something we practice. Same as Blastoise. Defender. We're the only team who did it. Why is this, if it's so good? I understand Blastoise meta, right? And I liked the character, but if it's so good, why were we still play? Why is nobody else doing it except for us? Why were we the only team doing it? You got to understand there was a reason. It's not that I'm egotistic and I think I am right all the time. It's not like that when you look at the broader data of why we're the only team that was doing things different. You cannot say that I'm being egotistic in the or dictatorial on picks. Like how Phil portrayed it I was. Anyways, Sam said, I trust you to make the judgment, and I stuck around. Honestly, it's difficult to have friends in competition, and since it was our team, I just gave you the reasons. It was up to you to make the executive decisions to keep him or not, and you capped him. After reflecting though, Phil did those moments when he would trigger Fui and sometimes me. But in tournaments, he did his best. Even though sometimes they were meta picks, nonetheless, the team that won today, IX and Blackhand, won without Lucario even in some of their matches. If I was to make a new team, and if it has Phil, I'm pretty sure it would be for fun. And if everyone knew we were going into for fun, there won't be so much tension. But since there was a lot of frustration on Fui and sometimes my side when Phil will not focus up, I understand now and accepted it. Maybe Fui didn't. And I knew Phil's income is via stream and entertainment. I am more so just on my side because after all that, it's too much mentally. I practiced and showed up almost always on time, 3 hours every single day after work, and we ended like this. It actually is upsetting because we had a chance. I was more so upset that we couldn't just be in one call one last time, be professional and close out the last day of Strong. The reason why I played the Blissey in those tournaments games, because I decided the composition is good. So I won't keep on going with the comp on this particular screenshot. I will leave it I'll leave it here and you guys can screenshot it if you want to read it. But I want to lay out some backgrounds where if anyone respected Phil's opinion, if anyone respected Phil more, like in this entire Pokemon Unite competitive scene, it's me. It's never something as you would think that I disrespected Phil, or I disrespected, or like I'm egotistic, or not having his opinion valued. His opinion was valued off stream. We discussed it for hours, and yet he wanted to do it on stream still, because for him everything is content. You got to understand again, I took blame for this because same because partially it was just because of the misalignment on goal. Just like Sam was saying here really clearly. Me, Fui, even Pika, at the time, at one point, it was best to kick Phil because there was a difference in goals. This was the focus here. And I 100% agree with Sam. It was my fault initially when I wasn't really clear, because I thought we can make this work. I thought we can teach Phil and he would play to the interest of the team and have content time. We have 1 hour every stream. After every stream, we do content, and about 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, we'll focus up and play serious comps. But that never happened. In fact, we couldn't even get it reversed. We couldn't even get a 1 hour of serious training. Every day we start off, I'm gonna play Blastoise Defender today. I'm gonna play Delphox Defender today. I have it on my thumbnail. I'm gonna play this, and this today. And that's what we're dealt with. The hand that we're given every single time, and we play through it because personally, I want to explain. I still to this day respected Phil as a person who's much more mature than his age, and I still respected that he focused on real life stuff than just the game. So that's one comment. And here is what I want to tell you about Sam. Again, Sam is the person I think is the most level-headed, as you can tell in the team. He never really truly get mad or tilted over anything. So I want to read our conversation with him so you can see his perspective. This is when I told him about why I cursed at him. And again, Sam, if you're watching, I'm sorry for ever telling you shut up. But at the time, I literally cannot take it anymore. Like, I was about to explode. I was literally about to explode. I was about to just turn off my stream and never go stream again. But unfortunately, I couldn't. I was stuck in we're into a situation where right now, same as Phil, making content is something I rely on income on. Right, but I never really begged or asked for donations or use our membership fees for something personal. Because I want to grow the community organically and find sponsors. Right, I think our stream has helped us enough. Our viewers helped us enough in just for being here and supporting the stream. But let's read this. I only play so much top jungle, so I truly don't know. Sorry. It's just we had a plan for, this is what I explained it. For Grassy Island, we're practice discuss, but he changed 180 degrees that day on command. I told you what cringed me most was not Free actually did what I did. It was I told him straight up, was you and Phil afterwards. You were arguing about how other jungler gank early, even at green side. I told you it was not the point, but you would not listen. And again, at the time, I told Sam, I told him to let me talk because he missed the point. It was not the play itself. It's the play that we discussed for 1,000 times, if not more. And then if we went 180 degrees reversed on what we discussed as the game plan. And if Sam, instead of looking at that as it is, he went ahead and showed me, look, Toon does this, Toon does that. Like I don't know. Like there's so hard to actually clear like all the jungles. It's so hard for me to understand how to do 2 camps and gank top. It's not that hard, guys. Anyways, so I explained to him you missed the point. He said, Free just have ego problem, but he's mechanically good. Again, I tell you, I never really bash anyone. I only say things as it is. If I say something that's out of line, I'm sorry. Free got ego problem, but he's mechanically good. You know how cringe it was to backfill to play Wiggly Blissey when they were at the strongest. Free was the most vocal about it in private with 3 of us. But you guys won't say it out loud afterwards. Because me, Free, and Sam will literally spend hours after every stream discussing like different strategies, different rotations and stuff. Phil would never be in there because he would be doing his own like whatever the Pokemon game it was, called some Nuzlocke, whatever that was. Okay. I tolerated all of that. Here, come back to this. I spent hours talking to Phil alone, begging him to do it, basically. Okay, let's read. This is where I left off. You guys won't say it out loud afterwards. Sam said, yes, but he's a grown adult and we are. We can only tell him so much, then we had to adapt to it, which is exactly what we did. I spent hours talking to Phil along begging him to do it. So he did 1 hour Sympathy Blissey Day, remember that. And instead it does not work, cringe, let's go back to Crosssoul. I tolerated all of that. I love him as a mature younger brother because he cared about the bag. Not like most naive pros in Unite. Just look at GG, right? again, I love GG as much as it is, but what I didn't understand is how teams will throw so much effort into Unite at the current stage, because it doesn't justify any org to sponsor this game. I talked to different org directors. They say they simply won't sponsor the game. Doesn't matter how good the viewership is. They just wouldn't sponsor anything related to the game because of the viewership. Because the Unite simply and their esports is just not there, right? And look at GG. They put in all this effort. They flew to Canada, right? And they got flipped on and lost. Like, I feel so bad. If there's any team that I feel bad, like outside of our team, is GG. They try their best. They literally try their best. They give it the best effort. They give the esports level treatment. And look what happened to GG. The point is, I respect his practicalness. This is talking about Phil. But from my view, when I was tilted beyond belief by how Free into the top, did not say a word, and then became vocal when it was time to blame the team, and you defended him with some irrelevant stuff, and Phil still acted like the good guy. For me to share 50% of the blame. I reminded Free that they were gonna gank him early, and if he just waits for me, we win every time. I don't know how many people actually paid attention. Every time when Free played to our, like, even though he didn't want to play Lucario, guys, you gotta understand, I'm saying Lucario is the thing, but I understand if he didn't like it. Just like I accepted the fact that Phil is not gonna play Blissey and all that, right? For Free to not play Lucario and all that, it's fine. It's actually not the biggest issue, even though I complain about it. The biggest issue, the entire team know about it, you can ask any team, was not, you can ask any team member from our team, including Jarek, including any subs even, including Drostar, is not that lack of Lucario top, is that Free will go in one-on-one the enemy top lane because you want to prove that he's a better top laner. Even though that we discussed this many times, that that's not the game plan and this is a very easy game. They will gank you early and you will be in trouble and will be in a very bad situation. So that's why we spent hours discussing our top lane strategies. The thing is, he just didn't go through with the plan that we discussed. And then Sam responded, yeah, I didn't think it like that, but I'm starting to understand now. Aside from that, we did have shot getting out of the group. We had some communication with each other, whether it was just listening only. Again, regarding what Sam said in the end, regarding communication, I played pro for all this time I'm in MOBA. I understand how important communication is. I'm 100% sorry for not joining voice chat, but I can't. I simply would break mentally if I do. I just can't. I explained to Phil hours yesterday how it was on the side. I was on the side of going off tangent, literally like thinking about stuff that's irrelevant to real life because of this. You know, it was so out of ordinary for me. Like it's like a rock hit me in the head where everything I worked so hard for got shut down by this one person, and then 2 other people commented under it in one day. And for 3 days, for 3 weeks that we had to practice for the tournament, right? We really trolled for 2 weeks in a row where we're tolerated, and we want to do it for a few days before finals. And in day one of our practice, this is how everything happened. So I hope you guys understand it's not as simple as it was. And regarding people who said we trained for 8 months, I have a screenshot here. This is right after. This is so fucked how I gotta talk to you at like a child. Just think about this logically. We trained for 8 months together for this. Don't quit in the final 3 days. It's common sense. Whatever point we go in and try our best. That's all I'm saying. No one expects us to win it all, but expects to give it our best. I told him I know. And I told you. And I already showed this. I should already tell you what I told him. Let's take the day off, 5-stack. Tomorrow, let's regroup. Warm up for regionals, give it our final shot, and we can surprise some people. No one expect anything from us after this. It's a perfect time to prove them wrong. That's what Phil said in this screenshot. This was on Tuesday, right after the Monday incidents. What I want to tell you guys is regarding what he said for an 8 month training for 8 months together. because of like we never really systematically trained because we mostly trolled. And again, I want to say it again one more time. When it's my fault, it's my fault. And I think a lot of it was actually my fault for setting up the wrong foundation because Phil wanted to go content fully. And then me, Free, Sam, Myth actually wanted to play the tournament. So I'm pretty sure like if Phil would have played like how Pika would, just anything in like best in the defender role, or if Phil just stick to like one, let's say tree, instead of going on this Blastoise, Delphox, anything related to that Crustle, and force us to play that for weeks on end. You cannot possibly say that we trained for 8 months because we really never had a serious training. But the thing is, I don't really care about that because I truly believe our team had a lot of potential. And I believe for 3 weeks, right? This is what I can tell you this right now. I think my strength is in analytical skills. I'm really good at analyzing a pattern or trend. So when I see certain thing that happens, right, I can kind of see the reason why it happens. It's just taking me 2 to 3 games, and I can immediately see why people do this, the reasoning behind it, basically reverse engineering, because that's what I did as a civil engineer for the longest time. That's my strength. And I believe in 3 weeks with my previous experience playing pro, making content with the best teams for mobile in the world for a year, I think a lot of stuff that I can offer to the team. And I said, if we can train systematically for 3 weeks, we can do this. We have a serious shot to be in the top 2 and go to Worlds. Even if we don't, we would give it our best shot, knowing that we did. But the fact of the matter is, we trolled for 2 out of that 3. And the last week, the first day of what happened, to watching everything get flushed away from my just flushed away in front of me, when I. Anyways, all right. I want to share this with you because I asked Pika about because this is just supporting statement. Because I was so cringe watching Phil not showing any context and saying that we are being like I'm saying everything's right and everything he said is wrong. If I think everything he said is wrong, I wouldn't explain to him. I would just kick him. I'll remove him from the team. Understand, we deal with this for 8 months. I respected him and loved him. That's why we have him as a teammate. That has always been my strategy. That's always been the way how I handle this game. That's always been how we try to form a team. Okay, so ask Pika, can you honestly write me something about why you left our team initially, if that's possible? I would like to make it public. We really appreciate it. Pika responded, main reason I left Foreign Famous at that time because I felt some members wasn't taking it serious to play competitive, wasn't trying their best shot to go to Worlds. So I left Foreign Famous and went to find a team that was more serious. Partially, you can say that Pika was being really, really logical and decisive at the time, right? Because he felt there's a different direction on the like where the ship was going, and he just left the team because Phil wasn't treating the game seriously at all. He joined in when Pika first joined in, and I can search for hours to go back to find the page when I first asked Pika to join. When Pika joined, even though he's a defender main, Pika agreed to play as a supporter. He wanted to play as a supporter for the team because Phil was playing defender at the time. So you got to understand, so he never wanted to take Phil's role. The reason why we eventually we were asking Phil to give Pika a chance to play defender was because Phil refused to play anything meta at the time. He was trying to play, I forgot what it was, but like the team member, you can ask anyone in the team. At the time that when we're asking Phil to give Pika a chance to play defender, is anything that we want to try as a legitimate comp, and in practice, it was declined from Phil's side because he didn't want to play those Pokemons. So it was, but Pika loved the game as it is, and he just wanted to win. So it was very different, like how he portrays it. He basically portrayed it as how Free, Sam, me, Myth would see it, but they didn't vocalize it, and I begged Phil to make the changes, but it never happened. So again, everything that was shown here, it was not to say that it was not to say that Phil was a bad player. Phil was a bad player. All that. It's just say that he's probably most suited in solo queue. In teamwork, it's actually really hard to make it work. When we like, because there are different directions, they're completely different things. When we're talking about competitive and casual games, we can certainly talk about, like, that's why in live streams, in videos, I try to explain things as simple as possible. But a lot of things that we try to like avoid, it literally doesn't make sense to explain to majority of the viewers and the players, because it doesn't even make sense. If you don't play the game for like years and understand some fundamental basics of the game, like, it's really hard for me to explain everything. That's why I try to make a series called What Pro Never Tell You series to explain the fundamental basics of certain MOBA principle within the game. So let's read some comments that was sent to me. This wasn't professional. What your role just felt like the blame was put on the team. How can you say you did not try your best, but be rude? How can you say you did try your best, but be rude on comms and trash talk to your team during trainings? You could have said what you said, but without the rude comments. For all my rude comments, I apologize to, and if I can apologize to the person who are watching the stream here, I want to apologize for everything that I say on stream. To random players, like I said, if I'm toxic to randoms, we established the rule. If I'm random to if I'm toxic to random players, I would even donate $10. I'm right now, as of this moment, I can say when I play solo queue, I'm the least toxic streamer in the entire community, even less toxic than Chris Heroes. Because I watch Chris Heroes streams all the time. He's pretty chill, but he would use words like brain dead, R word, the re something words on stream talking about randoms, right? I don't even do that anymore, because if I do that, I would donate $10 to charity, and I can show you how much we have donated, because I've certainly feel guilty about doing this. I do not want to be toxic on stream, but you gotta understand, a lot of stuff that happens on stream, we spend hours behind the scene to discuss this in private. Most of the stuff that we discussed on stream was already talked about in private, but yet on stream we still make the same mistakes. We still pick the same troll picks. It cannot be simply discussed on stream. It cannot be simply like described in a singular saying like, Dave, you are rude. You were calling Fui a dumbass. You were telling Fui to shut up. You were telling Sam to shut up. For the things that I said to Fui and Sam, for my words, for my emotion at the time, I apologize if Fui and Sam were watching. But you gotta understand what Fui did top to me was so unbearable. And then Sam didn't see what we were discussing about. Add oil to the fire, and Phil started swooping as a good guy, putting 50% of the blame on me when it had nothing to do with me, because we're not following up with the plan that we discussed. You know how much cringe that was at the time. It's honestly, like, I understand and I apologize for the rude comments, but this overall sentiment is not what it seems. It's not as simple as it is. Everything was discussed hours on end, days for weeks for months, and we did the opposite. Thank you, Edmund. I appreciate it. Hey, David, right? I watch you because I like to watch competitive 5S and notice that nobody's listening to your calls to pick meta months. Again, it wasn't even because of meta months. It was just that there's so many aspect of things that added up. And I partially take blame for it, because it was my fault for not recognizing this like 6-7 months earlier and just disband the team and have a different team. At the time, I can even tell you this: if that time Phil was was benched as a content creator, and he was just a content creator which is a collab with Phil, he would still do really well, and we can have a real team as Team 4 and Famous to play competitive. And even and I'm pretty sure if that's the case, and we have Pika as a defender, Fui is not going to be so passive aggressive as he is today. So partially, it was what Fui is today, where he's so passive aggressive on attacking me and all that, was partially my fault, because I understand the frustration that our team wasn't seeing any growth. And every time before you get on stream, and then he would say stuff like, all right, let's not pretend we're not playing Crosso today. He would say stuff like this to start off the stream. Like, I understand the frustration. I completely understand. So it was partly my fault for not making the decision earlier, right? And I understand now, like after talking to a lot of people, and then this one last chance, when there's a misalignment on goal in the very beginning, don't expect people to change. Just completely part of ways right off the bat. If the person is not committing to change, the action doesn't show it. You should immediately part of ways. And again, this is partially to the same thing to Phil. Phil never wanted to play the game seriously. He wanted to play the game as content, right? To him, it's always just a kid game. Competitive doesn't mean anything to him. He doesn't care about esports. I simply don't think our team deserved my effort. This is what I said to Phil regarding why I didn't join voice chat. Deserving my effort going forward. Everything we did cringed me to the point where I questioned my life, Phil. I'm 30-year-old playing a kid game, begging you for 30 hours straight to play Blissey and Wiggly. Begging our top lane to train a character instead of kicking your clowns because or yelling at it because I believe in my friends. There are so many comps that are winning without Blissey. I said, name one from final today. He said, 3 weeks before, and I continued, 3 weeks before final, when every team is screaming every opportunity they had, we were playing Crossel. Phil said, I'm not sure from NA, but someone sent me a thing about Japanese comp not running it. Japanese play Blissey Dragon 100% every single game. I watched them all. I did actually watch them all. I watched every single tournament. Maybe with the exception of the I didn't even watch the final. I skimmed through it. I didn't watch everything related to it because I was so tilted over this entire scenario. I'm gonna watch it and make videos on it, but I want to explain that Phil did not care about esports at all, right? Still at this point, the way how he justified himself is from a casual player perspective in a competitive team, and it's my fault to put him here, right? Because he doesn't know how competitive dynamic works. It's not right to force it to play Crossel, train a comp. That's just something that you can do. Like what's Crossel that you have to train for hours, for month on end? Like if we want to play Crossel and flip, and then for a second game, I agreed in some tournaments that we took it out right in the middle of the tournament was Crossel. You guys remembered before, and we won with it. We took enemy by surprise. I agree that we can take it out on random, but it's not something you should force our team to practice for weeks just because Phil wanted to play it. And the reason why he wanted to do it is because he is a content creator first and foremost, and to him, this is a Pokemon game first and foremost, then a mobile game. And to the rest of the team, it's a mobile game, it's a competitive game first and foremost, then it's the opposite of what Phil believed in. It's not really one side is right or wrong. It's just a completely different belief in, or completely different goals with this game. And I didn't act on it a little bit earlier. Let's keep on reading the comments. This is one of the creators called Kaiju. I've never really paid attention to her, or I mean, I knew her. I knew this person existed, but I actually never, because there are so many content creators out there. But she actually commented in my writing as well, and he said, I don't know if I think it's she. She said, yo, I don't usually start drama at all, but your team deserves for you to take some accountability. I would underperform too if I was forced to listen to you be toxic to everyone and never take money for your bad plays. Always everyone else, never you, my guy. Self-reflect. Again, I have self-reflected on everything I've done, even including not joining voice chat. Again, I will take the blame for it, but I want to show you guys it's not as simple as me egoing and not joining voice chat. I simply couldn't. My mental wouldn't allow it. If I did, the only way for me to justify playing it and just not completely delete the game off my app and continue to survive doing content was to not join the voice chat on that day. I explained to the team that I really can't mentally. It was too stressful for me, and then it got taken to a point where it was almost breaking me. And I explained to them sincerely, and he agreed to it as I showed the voice chat where he agreed. Okay, we'll play on today without voice chat, right? He agreed to it, and then he forced me to join. He asked me to join voice chat on the day of the tournament again, and the day prior. right? And instead, everything, if I do anything else, it was wrong. I agree the action was not proper. I told him, and I will apologize to him, to Sam, to Myth, about what I did. I'll even apologize to Fui, because it's not fair for any competitive players to be in finals of a tournament and not have voice comp. How can I not know this? Like, I played competitive for like all this time I do content. How can I not know how important comms is? I told Phil. I simply did not think our team deserved my effort going forward. So everything that caused me, that pressured me to the point it was okay. But the fact that we're playing troll comps with random things that happen in a lot, and we practiced for 2 days before finals. When I begged our team to practice seriously, and we have to take 2 weeks of trolling because of Phil wanted to do more stuff that he liked on stream. That was okay. But if I dared to not join voice chat, that was just the crime of the century, and it cannot be forgiven. And what he said, I would underperform too if I forced to listen to you be toxic to everyone and never take accountability for your bad plays. This is so out of the world. This is so out of the world. This is so bizarre that just shows you she never really actually watched the stream or in any of the community to understood what happened behind the scene. Obviously, I don't expect anyone to understood. Like, I couldn't, again, there's a lot of stuff in our group chat, a lot of voice calls, countless hours of voice calls that we did that to talk about everything. And we can't really like show them on stream, right? We don't do that. We just play games on stream. Who shows hours and hours and on end of like team discussing stuff on stream? Who shows hours and hours and tell other people that you're good, you're the best player on stream? We don't do that. We do it off the stream. We do it like in a team environment, in private. Let's continue to read this. If you're watching FF practice, you know that over the course of a few months, it's not just Dave that's toxic now, but what does a month of listening to the shit do someone's mental? I'd quit and crack too. I'm not going to excuse behavior like this, especially with the tweet longer post that blames everyone except for the real culprit. I don't know what this word means, culprit. I'd make you mute too, so I would really focus. There was a lot of us rooting for you all. She certainly doesn't root for us at all. This was just a social credit post. You disguise training and coaching as bullying and empowering your teammates when this method has been disproven or even effective for team play. Jesus to everyone, but damn, am I glad this team split ways and found itself again. Prosper from this, y'all. So basically what she said regarding to this is like everything related to our team is mostly my fault. And I don't want to, again, the whole post I did was not to blame anyone because there were a lot of people who simply came to my stream and said a bunch of nasty stuff regarding a singular mistake that I apologize for, that I admit fault for. But again, like I said, to stay sane, I couldn't do it anymore. So I don't know. I will take the blame for it, but I can tell you, even still now, I will stand with the decision that I did. I would still do it again at that time because I wasn't in control anymore. I was literally about to break mentally about this game because I just can't take it anymore. Yeah, like you have to understand how hard it is over the past 8 months. And finally, we got a chance to we're finally at the finals. For 3 weeks, I'm asking our team to try for 3 weeks to play serious for 3 weeks of serious comp, serious practice. We fine tune some details and we go to the worlds, we go to the regionals, and this is to say that I do disguise training and coaching as bullying to pile on my teammates is so cringe. Someone have to come out and say stuff, right? If I'm not a team captain, then who says it? Nobody else says it. Sam is a nice guy, the nicest guy I've ever met. He would never say anything negative to anyone. He would never point out any mistakes. He would never say anything. Even if he knows the mistake, even you saw from the voice chat how soft it was regarding I don't know what to say, man. I really don't. The whole thing of saying that it was bullying and then coaching and training was bullying and empowering my teammates because I was the only one saying stuff. Because I showed you the screenshot with Sam that they were saying stuff to me in private. But I cannot show a lot of things on private. I cannot show those voice calls. I cannot show what our team feeling towards Phil was for the longest time. And I respect and loved Phil. I kept him, and I would try to work with Phil to improve. So we worked on those mistakes. All right, this is my. By the way, I want to read Jen's comment and also Demigod 95 because this year has been my longest supporter for a long time, and then I want to read their chat because yesterday when I was rewatching Phil's stream, his chat was he basically rallied the chat to in a sense to flame me in a way, right? So I want to read this comment. I want to read what Jen said, so you guys will have a understanding who I hang out with and what do my actual friends tell me behind the scene. Okay, this is not an echo chamber that I don't just what do you call? Let me go from here. I don't just act on my own. Here. This is what Jen told me. I'm not like the others here and won't say anything so biased. I have been around since 2017, Dave. I know it's still your decision in the end, but honestly, I feel like you should talk to your team one more time or heck. To your friends in general, Dave, I feel like you just give up so easily on people when they have different mindset and deals than you. First of all, I want to tell Jen that this is 100% not true, as I explained. If I do, Phil would not be in the team 8 months ago. He will literally not. The reason why we're as a team as it is, because I never give up people easily. Unless certain things happened, like accumulate over a long period of time and really, really get to a breaking point. This is never like, I never try to give up anyone very, very easily. I read your tweet on and watch the stream. I feel like all of you haven't really talked again after what happened. I think y'all really should talk things out and let each one of you talk and hear out their thoughts and opinions. I think you telling your friend to shut up was a bit too much when you didn't get to hear words you wanted to hear, which with them agreeing, siding with you. And I explained this to Sam, and you can, as you saw from Sam's response here, he understood what it was, right here. I didn't think of that, but I started to understand now. The thing related to the topic was Jen wasn't, like, to Jen, she wasn't really in the situation. She didn't really play Unite that much. So she just she watched the stream, and she watched a part of the stream because she loved me, and and she's a real friend, and she supported us since the very beginning, and she's still supporting us. So for that, I love you, Jen. So to say that everything I said regarding my tone and stuff to Sam, again, I apologize for what I did. But remember, the reason why was Sam wasn't listening to me at all at the time. He went off tangent on a thing that's completely irrelevant to what we're discussing. You know, like we were discussing stuff that was out of the ordinary, and Sam wouldn't let me talk. He just kept on going. Look, this is what Toon did. Look, if you go back and listen to what happened, then he just kept on going with look. This is what happened. I don't know why. This was the first time Sam just wouldn't let me finish my thought. I was trying to explain to Sam that it wasn't the play. I can certainly go top after 2 camps if we want to change our entire strategy. Hours of all the time that we discussed, like if you just want me to go top after 2 camps, even on green side, I can do that as long as he say the word. Instead of Fui went on a very passive aggressive aggression like towards me and towards the entire team, and nobody was standing up towards him. Everybody was just like being really quiet about it, like it was okay. It was not people agreeing with me or not. It was just that if Sam had a legitimate point regarding like what we discussed, that's fine. But it was not really agreeing or siding with me. That's not it. It was just Sam was discussing something completely off tangent. By any means, it doesn't mean I no longer support you. I do. But I think you got to hear something unbiased. Talk to your friends again one last time. Imago, Tyler, Dave. It's not nice that you give up on your build-up friendship because y'all can't agree on one thing. I only thought that you guys could have talked on private when argument happened. Like I said, this is if my longest and biggest supporter feel this way. I cannot ask any other viewer to feel otherwise. You got to understand. Like I cannot expect anyone to understand what went behind the scene. How many hours of us begging like dogs, like street rats for Phil to play something that we can legitimate train on. You do not understand how many hours I discussed with Free individually as a team about how we tackle our top lane. You do like this was never shown in lights. We do those private discussions. That's why it's so cringe to me. That's why it broke me mentally because I don't know how to handle it because Again, I don't owe anybody anything, and they don't owe me anything. I cannot force Phil, you have to play Blissey, or I kick you. I love him enough to not say that, right? Like, it was never that way. So everything that was done in private wasn't shown in public. For literally the hours that we spend off stream is about more than twice of the hours that I spend on stream. That's how much time I spend on our team off stream talking with our team, talking about all this, building personal relationships, like try to gain each other's trust so we can play, so we can at least have 1 hour of Bliss session. It didn't need to be publicized for people to see because they think negative of you. Talk to your friends and team again. I saw Phil's stream addressing the issue. He said he was reaching out to you, but you decided you wouldn't try again. Again, as you saw, that's not what it was. I showed you the screenshot, the backgrounds, just like Phil clipped some of the things out of it. It was I show you the dirty side. I show you the how I truly felt, how much I felt, how badly I felt at the time. Because I want to show you the full picture of what I felt after what happened on Monday. I want to show like how much stress I was in, like accumulated to Monday. Okay, but I wanna address this because like I said, if Jen didn't see it, didn't understand what happened behind the scene, then nobody else would, right? Because I literally tell Jen, if anything. Demigod 95, and again, I love you, Jen. Thank you for giving me your honest opinion. That really helped me to see from how regular viewers would see from their perspective. Let's see what he said. I watched what Phil said, and I do agree with on some things. You could have let them try something different besides completely shutting it down, give it a chance. I give if it's competitive, you need proper synergy to make winning easier. But that doesn't mean there aren't different options that can still secure the win, even if it's a difficult match. Not everyone uses the same playstyle, so honestly, you can make any mon work with the proper team, which you had. Fix your friendship. Man, if Pokemon Unite is causing this much stress in your life, don't play it. Free, Phil, Sam, Myth might be assholes at time, but that doesn't mean they aren't good people. Y'all are holding a lot of feeling towards one another that can be fixed if y'all had a civil conversation together in voice chat. If you just want to completely cut them out of your life, that's your decision to make, and I'll support your decision. I'm going to bed now, blah, blah, blah. So, as I just explained, right? Like I said, my longer time supporters don't even understand what went behind the scene, and I couldn't expect anyone else to understand. The fact that you let them try something different, besides completely shutting it down, give it a chance. I've explained this thousands of times, as you guys can see on stream, like how many different things that we tried, right? And most of them were initiated by one person alone. When Phil said on his reaction, he said everything I said in my article because he was using things out of context. He understood what I said because we explained this before. He was even doing this. He was saying out right here. I find it. He was searching innovate right here. Look at this. He said, "I was forced to innovate. I was forced to innovate and play other characters who are weaker level 4, but stronger level 5 beast skirmish on top lane, such as Charizard, Gengar, Gardevoir. To complement this, me and Free had hours of discussion on how to topside, especially on grassy side. We came to a conclusion how we approach top when we're on grass side. And here I explained the detail of the play. And to tell people it's not related to the play, but it was just that we had a plan, and if we went against 180 degree on the plan, didn't tell me and blame the team on it. That was the argument. Here it was. Now here is why history is important. Because Free is not able to take the carry role early game, because he was literally trying to eagle every single top laner to prove that he's the best top laner. He was playing against one-on-one, knowing that enemy gonna gank him at what time. Free is a really smart person. The reason why I liked him, because I always respected, like, he's one of the smartest person. Like, even in solo queue, right? I remember before I started playing Unite, I was just watching Free alone. Even, doesn't matter how toxic he was. I think he is smart. I think he plays solo queue with a lot of thinking behind, a lot of brain behind it. And I still respect him towards this day. But he's not a good fireman player, because he doesn't respect others' feelings in this aspect. You know, for the longest time, it was just a lot of passive aggression. And then the thing about the top lane thing is, the game is really, really simple. It was not top lane, even top lane. Even though I hated the fact Lucario was dominant, even until this day, right, for so long. The developer never really truly understand why this character is so dominant and why it's the #1 choice on top lane and nerf it properly, even till this day, right? That's partially from the dev side. But you gotta understand, like, on top side, Free just had his own ego issues. Like, he wanted to prove that he's the best top laner. That's why he fight every single top laner one-on-one. It's not necessary, and it shouldn't be done, right? No other player does it. Even the best top laners, Overlord, OG, we're talking about best Lucario players, right? They wouldn't go in one-on-one you, knowing that your jungler is ganking you. When jungler is ganking you, they get what they can and they leave. They don't overextend because they want to say, hey, I'm gonna, you know, flash in front of your face. They don't do that, because it's not necessary. It's truly not necessary. So I said I was forced to innovate to play other characters who are weaker. When I said innovate, this is the wrong word. And I agree this is the wrong word. This is supposed to be adapt. I was forced to adapt. It was not that I was innovating, because there's no innovation really in this game, except for like playing like certain comps that try to make a worse comp work in a lot of scenarios. But adapt. The only innovation that we truly did that was not even realized was like when Duradon first came out, and it was the most broken thing in the game. For the longest time, if you were watching the stream, I said Decidueye is the only counter to the Duradon. Does anyone remember that on stream at the time? For about 2 weeks before they nerfed it, I said, guys, until that tournament, that I think I forgot it was April or March finals, right? I said Decidueye is one and only counter to Duradon, because you can avoid this stuff by poking him with 2 arrows since he's done. 2 arrows will full shot of Duradon, right? That's the only innovation. I told my team that, hey, let's play Decidueye as cringe as it is, but it counters Duradon. And every team is playing Duradon right now. Our team refused to try it. So I obviously play with the team. I didn't want to do it either. I'm trying to say that I never really... It wasn't innovate, but Phil was making fun of this word, saying that everything that I said was innovation, everything he said was not. You gotta understand, everything that any teammate brought up, we discussed it as a team. It was even regarding, now let's watch, how about this? Let's just watch what Phil said, and you guys can see what he said. You guys can see what he said regarding, like, he was making fun of I was forcing Sam to play Duradon. I was forcing Sam to play Duradon, that comp. He was saying I was forcing a comp to work when it was not necessary. And I told him that at the time, you know how many hours of work that how many hours of discussion that we went in to talk about Duradon. I told the entire team, with Phil and Sam individually, I said, you can ask Sam this too. I discussed with him individually. I said, Sam, it's not that it's not like I like Duradon that much. It's that our team, with the limitation of our picks, we don't really have a lot of options. From a game perspective, we want to play a composition that plays the win condition of the game, which is like scoring points, securing Zapdos, and scoring points, and then scoring more points than enemy team, right? So you need to have two basic things to make the basic win condition of the game work. Number one is ripping an objective, right? You have to have that presence. You have to have that pressure. Number two is you have to have any sort of damage or coordinate in the end to secure that objective. So hopefully that's not so complicated for anyone to understand. So at the time, I only suggested Duraludon. I didn't force him to play it because I told Sam that I like Blastoise also because it also accomplished the same goal, which is ripping objective. It's also really good in team fight. But the only reason I didn't like Blastoise and I asked him to try Duraludon sincerely was because Duraludon doesn't need evolution. And our bottom lane, because we were not playing Blissey at the time, so we were having a lot of trouble getting. In fact, also, free on top lane always required our support to go top. He was trying to do 2-1-2, right? So what happened was our bottom lane was always behind. Sam never get to anything meaningful by Dreno, like when he was on Blastoise. For the longest time, he was not getting to level 7. And you guys understand, this character, if it doesn't get to level 7, is kind of useless, right? And in this game, we have established there's kind of like a trend of like a logic, you would say. Something caused something else to happen. The first Dreno is one of the most important objective in the game, if not the most objective in the game, kind of set the tone for the rest of the game. Rest of the game, as long as you rotate properly, you defend it properly, you have a much bigger chance of winning this entire game, of just snowballing from that point on, right? So it's very important for us to secure those. And the games that Sam get the Duraludon, we did secure those first threats. The only problem that we had was we didn't tie up our mid to late game team fights. We got rolled over. But if you guys remember that when we first started practicing Duraludon, we're getting first threat consistently, and everyone was feeling really good about it. But it also feels bad because Sam didn't want to play Duraludon because he never had a Blissey. He said he had no protection at all. Like the enemy, anyone who can dive him, and he would instantly disappear. Which was 100% legitimate. So I told Sam, I said, regarding Duraludon, as long as we have another character that can do similar job, because we don't have anyone who can rip objectives, right? Because I cannot play any hyper carries due to our top limitations, right? Because like I said, if I play hyper carries and the free ego, and he wasn't changing that anytime soon, he ego top and he die top, and I don't even break even on top. I was constantly put behind. Enemy have many choices. They can invade my jungle, and then they can just roll over center area, right? Or they destroy top if I leave to go to farm. Either way, our mid is a 50% top laner. It's just I approach top a little bit differently. I don't directly go to lane in the very beginning, right? But I still go to top lane. So I said, because of the limitation that we have as a team and I cannot play hyper carries, and then with hyper carries, you understand, for team who can play Greninja, who can play Cinderace, all those characters in the jungle, the reason why they're able to do it is because they know their early game is going to be okay. So they have decent, if not more advantageous farm for the hyper carries. But I simply can't do it like on our team. So we have to make adjustment to make it work. So I told Sam, hey, let's try Duraludon because I need to play characters that can self-protect, that didn't need protection from Phil, because he doesn't want to do anything related to that, right? He wanted to just go in. And he said that public on stream. And I said, okay, that's not how the game works, but let's go with what Phil said, right? So I need to play character that can survive on my own. That's why I tried Charizard. That's why I tried Gengar and all that kind of stuff, because I can kind of survive on my own, right? I can kind of self-protect and self-peel. I have a little bit of wiggle room. I hope that makes sense to everyone. So the Duraludon thing was not that I was forcing a comp on the team. It was just a proposal to the team because I couldn't find any other option that can provide the same win conditions that we would need to make sense as a team, as a comp to practice. But that was never truly practiced because the field refused to play the Pokemon needed to make that comp work, right? So we didn't do it as a serious practice. We did it, and I appreciate that we at least did it, right, as a simplicity trial, but it was never practiced in a way, because you can again ask Sam on stream right now and have him testify what happened at the time regarding Duraludon. He said it was a good character, but he can't do it because he dies on command because they dive him. And I said, I will protect you. I'll try to Gardevoir, I tried Gengar. Either way, I said I will protect you more than anyone on the team. That's literally what I said, right? But if not Duraludon, let's try something else. If you have suggestions, give it. As long as it makes sense, let's do it. That's what I told the team. Phil can testify to this. Sam can testify to this. Myth can testify to this. Everybody knew the things that I recommend to the team was just a recommendation. It was not a force to the team because I was trying to find things that would work with the limitation of our champion pool. I hope that makes sense. It wasn't as but Phil portrayed it in his stream yesterday. As I'm this kind of dictatorial guy who only thinks that I am right, that nobody else is right, that I don't value his opinion. You saw the screenshot from Sam. If anything, I'm the person who respects his opinion the most in the entire team because I respect Phil outside of the game alone. I loved him as a younger brother. I think he's more mature than any other peers I saw. I see him as treating the game more than just the game alone. I saw him as someone who respected like a community, right? Who actually was a streamer. And how is that fair? How is that fair to say that to incite the entire stream yesterday to say that I was dictating the picks and bans in the team? How is that fair that we were forced to have a Blissey played by Sam in the grand finals? For the last few days of practice, how is that fair, you? And we were supposed to take all the blame for it. And I'm supposed to join voice chat to listen to cringe calls related to a cringe comp that nobody preferred. In majority of the team would not prefer going to this tournament. I don't. Again, I understand. I took full blame for my action for not joining the voice chat. It's something that I have to do. And I explained to Phil, it had too much mental stress on me to a point where it was breaking me mentally. I simply couldn't. It went against everything I believed in. I trained, practiced, poured my heart out, negotiated with the team, compromised to glue the team together for the past 8 months behind the scene when nobody saw how much effort that we put in, when nobody saw like how much work that we put in behind the scene. And I never discussed those publicly. No, you know the tip of the iceberg. I saw the entire chat. He was inciting everyone to only look from the very superficial level. From the tip of the iceberg, this is Dave's fault. So whole thing was Dave's fault. Where it was not understood in the grander scope of why this thing was happening. And I sincerely tell everyone that at the time when I told my team that I was having mental breakdowns, I was having mental issues, I was not kidding around. I was yelling on stream because I was truly not feeling good. I was feeling it at end of the road for everything that I've poured into this game for the past year. And now, how about this? Let's go watch Phil's stream and see what he said real quickly. And then you guys will know, you guys will see exactly what he said that is easily manipulative. And then that why I even come out and react to this today. When I wrote this, by the way, I want to tell everyone this was it. Because everybody did not see, nobody saw what went behind the scene. So I want to clarify some timelines and why something was happening. But I'm okay taking the blame for not showing up in voice chat. This was how it was supposed to. This was it. It was ending here. So let's watch what Phil said. How about that? Right here. This is what he said.
In the room, the drama, and go over all
We had to turn this on so you guys can see the chat, okay? And then
Okay.
I don't know how to make the chat look better. I guess I still have a way to do it.
Let's get some history down, all right?
Right here.
We've been playing with Dave since October, okay? So we've been playing for 8 or so months. Training.
A lot of things you don't see as manipulative. I will show you why they actually are.
5 months, but the most history with Dave. We've been playing with Dave the most for 8 months. We got Taz coming in. Welcome in to all the new viewers. Welcome in.
To all of the new viewers. Rank 1 community growing.
Yep. We've been playing with Dave the most. And it truly, and I'm not just saying this just because it sounds good on camera. It's like, oh, let's feel sorry. It truly hurt me, bro, that Dave did not want to give it one last shot. If y'all read through the DMs we had yesterday, boys, y'all read through the DMs. Dude, some of the shit I said in there, I'm like, Dave, please, if you value me as a friend, please just play it out for the... Just say all that stuff, and Dave still refused. He just...
Here. This is what he said, right? Remember what I showed here? I showed the full background of the previous picture. I kind of accidentally deleted it. I can try to get it back right here. Here. This was the previous picture. Right here. This is why I said I was not going to join voice chat. This is 4 days before the tournament. I explained to him about my mental state, and I said I will play without voice chat. And I continued to show the screenshot of that conversation. So you guys see this is a continuous conversation. Do you want to play 5S today without voice comp? This was agreed upon 4 days before the tournament. He did not beg me for 5 days in a row to play with voice comp. That was not what happened. The thing that was done is he brushed off everything. Every time I asked him, I'm not going to join voice chat. And here's my reason why. I said, I'm done talking about this. I said, I will play without voice chat, right? This is initially. And then he brushed off without commenting under it. He said, let's just move free and Sam and do our best. I said, I'm done talking about this. I will play, but I'm not going to join voice chat so I can at least play, right? And then, so let's continue. And he just continued to, let's surprise the world, down to play, and let's continue to the next voice chat. I said, I will play without joining voice chat. I said this many times about what do you call 4 days before the finals. Yeah. So it was not as something that he said he backed me for 5 days. And this is why I said it was manipulative, because it was not true.
Just hard refuse to play, even with all that stuff said. That's why, even though, like, Dave has this whole twit longer, right, where he says, oh, fucking, like, I still love Phil and all that stuff, is like, your actions and your words mean 2 different things, okay? If you truly care about someone as a friend, all right, would you do that? I'll ask you, everyone in chat right now, if a really close friend of yours, okay, well, I consider Dave a close friend. I've been playing with Dave almost every single day for 8 months. I consider Dave a really close friend, all right? If a really close friend of yours asks you to do something, okay? And it's not like I'm asking you for $100,000. I'm not asking Dave like, yo, Dave, PayPal me $100,000. I'm asking Dave to join. I'm asking him for something so reasonable that someone I play with for 1 week would do. But I played with Dave for 8 months. I asked him for something so reasonable.
You guys already discussed by this point, right? Like this is why I said it's manipulative, and it was doing it in a bad. Like with a bad intention. You guys understand? I'll increase the sound. Sorry about that. That was my bad. I just increased the sound. You guys understand that? I understand going to the voice chat is reasonable. I told him that I also apologized to him. It's my fault for not joining voice chat. I took responsibility for not joining voice chat. I understand it was not the right move. I told him, but it doesn't matter because I was literally about to break and not play this game and not touch streaming ever again. If I do, I couldn't do it. I can't join that chat. I simply can't be in the same room with Fui after what he did to me and after Phil and Sam so blindly defended him. And Phil was acting like the good guy in the absolute wrong time. when there was no need to do it. There's no reason for this. You know, like literally, you got to understand that with this entire thing, that you can use the same logic against Phil alone. You can use the same logic against Phil alone. When I told him that I was having a serious mental issues, he didn't take it seriously at all. You can ask Miss Assassin, or you can ask. She was obviously not going to talk, but you can go to Discord and ask her in DMs. You can ask her like how many nights after Monday that I was not able to just sleep. It was so stressful. I literally couldn't sleep yesterday. And even till I was finally getting over it. It was still so problematic where after yesterday I tried to sleep, but I ended up just laying on the bed looking at the ceilings until 5 a.m. because I couldn't sleep. When he said, if you really respect him as a friend, why is the little things you wouldn't do, right? It wasn't asking me for $100,000. That's what he said, right? Then why is that? Why is that? Our entire team begged him for month and month and months to play something seriously for 2 hours every day. And we play for 1 hour troll to satisfy anything you want content-wise. And we don't even do that. We have to do everything the other way around, or not even 1% of it. Like, how is that fair to us? How is that fair that I told him, I explained, there's a reason why I can't join this voice chat. And I'm cringed to the bottom of my heart, bottom of my bones where I couldn't. And he agreed to it 4 days ahead. And on the day of the tournament, and the day before, he started gaslighting this and it turned it into something that I surprised him on the spot. That was not what happened. But that's not what he said here. That's not what he said on stream. That's not what happened. I told him I couldn't join. I just couldn't join. I couldn't be in the same room as someone who did that to me. After all this time we went through, and other people were defending him. When we need to fight back, like I always believe in counterpunching. Over here, you gotta understand, I have to watch the entire thing that I worked so hard for all this time. You know, try to make the hard choices all this time, right? Try to do the right thing for the team all this time. And it was just completely killed because we left the group chat, left the team chat, left everything we have built, and because of his own mistake and his own arrogance, and Phil defended it. And Sam didn't know what happened, so he accidentally defended it as well.
And he still denied me. Through everything. He still denied me. Alright, I legit asked him, like, you guys see the DMs. Some of you actually paused and read through all the fucking DMs, okay? Some of you guys paused and read through all the DMs and all that, right? And you saw the shit I was saying. I'm like, bro, if you value me and Sam as friends, we trained with you for so long. Can you please play out the last 5 days? I should never have to do that.
Did we train for so long though, guys? Did we really train for so long? Or do we just play whatever Phil wanted to play for 8 months?
Should never have to do that. I played on his team, okay, for no salary, okay, all right? And he's like the captain. The least you can do as the captain of your fucking team is to join on voice comms. And we could have made it out of groups, okay? We truly, after seeing what happened yesterday, everyone knows we could have made it out of groups. In our prime, if everyone had good mental and we tried to play for the win, we definitely could have made it out of groups. Okay, we lose to Ajax, fine. We beat the 4 other teams. That's not even ego, that's not nothing. Because we beat 3 of the...
That's pure ego. By the way, that is actually pure ego. To say that we could have beat all the other teams, to send that practice seriously for a long time, we had I think until the finals, until Monday of the last week before finals, we had 0 serious practice. We couldn't even schedule scrims. I tried to schedule scrims. Our team, specifically Phil, declined and said it was not a good idea. I couldn't even schedule scrims because we can't do it.
4 teams with troll picks. If we just
Sorry acting like it's hard, Dave. To be competitive, feelings had to go out of the door. If one person alone... Thank you. Thank you, Dave, for the donation. I appreciate it. But understand, no, it was my fault. I understand the sentiment behind it now. Like we can easily, obviously, ask for sympathy, but that's not what I'm asking for. It's partially my fault that a month ago I did not just tell Phil that this team is not going to work. Let's part ways. It was my arrogance at the time. I would say that I believed in Phil. I believe in his ability to change. I believe in his ability to change to play the team because how hard it was. I thought how hard it was to train for 2 hours seriously every day and then play 1 hour of content. If we play for 3 hours every day as a team, from Sam come out at 7:30 and then we play for until 10:30, right? We have 3 hours of practice. Sam did that every single day. How hard was it? No, that's not. Ari, that's not what scrim is. I mean, if that just think about it this way: if that logic standalone stands on its own feet, then every team will stop screaming. But every single team outside of our team was screaming. We are the only team that wasn't screaming. Do you think they were just too arrogant? They were not. Screaming has its purposes. We didn't do it because, again, Phil wanted to mainly do content. He didn't want to actually do things that didn't generate results. Like screaming doesn't really help with or playing at tournaments or getting interviews. That doesn't really pay, right? And he's very practical, and I respect him for it. But that's not how competitive scene works. A lot of competitive scene is pretty naive. It's pretty innocent. So I don't want to explain the utility of Scrim here, but just to know that Scrim is one of the most essential elements of competitive gaming. And I was trying to schedule it, but we were not able to do it for reasons.
focused up and we were on comms and we won that second set, we would be out of groups right now. Okay? We would be out of fucking groups. I'm not saying we would have won it all, but we would have gotten out of groups. Okay?
Yeah, like I said, this is very arrogant. We had a zero day of any practice. Mistakes that the Bravebird was practicing. Every team was screaming except for us. Every team was screaming except for us. We didn't have a single day of actual practice, right? We wasted 2 weeks. We wasted 2 weeks after qualifier doing any random stuff but serious practice. It's you gotta understand. This is very this is not. Like I really don't think we're the best players. I think we have the best. I think we have a really good shot if we do our best. But I do not think we're the best players. Tacinda have really good players. They tried their best, too, right? They trained, they played, they practiced. We did not train. We did not practice. We played the game for 8 months together as a team. And to say that like we train all that and then like
okay. And that means
to say that we can easily get out of a group without a single day of practice. To ask me to join voice chat under that condition, after what has happened, is, I don't think it's fair.
means the world to me. That means the world to Sam, to Myth, the people that play just, even Fui, just to win, just to place as high as possible. Okay? Alright? And I read through this whole thing, and it just seems... And this is another thing about Dave, I tell him all the time. Since I've been with him for so long, it's only 8 months, right? But it's longer than everyone else, right? A thing I noticed about Dave is he makes impulsive decisions, and he sticks with it. This is an impulsive decision. He didn't even take a day to talk to friends and family, okay? To like, whenever I make a big decision, I talk to my friends and family, all right? I try to get other people's inputs. He never got anyone else's input. He didn't talk to the team, all right? I'm not sure if he talks to friends and family. I can't say he did or he didn't. But all I know is this is so quick. This was like 2 hours after his stream. He wrote up a whole like statement, bro. Like it feels like.
Again, this was false. It was false and it was manipulated. I wrote this after the final, and not even on the final day. It was because I think it was. When June 19th, when was June 19th? It was yesterday. It was not even after the finals. It was never like I wrote it right after our stream on Monday. I didn't do it. This was published on the 19th. You guys see this? It was the decision was made very decisively because I couldn't. I was on the brink of collapse. I literally was. And to Phil, it's all fun and dandy because who cares about mental problems? Like literally, I think it's cringe to say to bring up mental problems, but I do experience it in real life. I told you how I started streaming in the beginning. I was a civil engineer who did a startup. Like after I was a civil engineer for a few years, and I was working on my startup, sleeping for 3 to 4 hours every day. And I was about to launch my startup. That's when I talked to my family, talked to my friends. They agreed, okay, do this full time. It's time to quit your job. We'll support you. So I quit my job, working a really good job. And my boss was awesome. I was promised to not leave the job. If I stay in the job, I would pay $150,000 a year within 3 years. He promised a contract even on that day when I was leaving because I told him I needed to do my startup. And we did so much together. My boss was a wonderful person. I left, I did my startup. My startup failed. I fell in a depression for like 3 to 4 months. For 3 to 4 months, I was doing nothing but sitting in a dark room, playing computer games, playing games on the phone. And that's how I decided, okay, since I already play so much games, I know the in and out of it, let me make content for it. The thing that when I told him that I was not able to join for my own sake, they brushed it off like it was nothing serious. Like the fact that this was not serious to after everything that was done to me.
Like some sort of damage control or whatever, instead of like a genuine, thing where like you speak to people and then you tell them, hey, did I do the right thing? Like, am I correct for that? And he doubled down. He said in the replies, he doubled down. He's like, I'm glad I didn't join comms with this team, bro. How do you do that, man? How do you do that, bro? And then I see a lot of people supporting him, and I don't blame any of them that support him. But it just really opens my eyes. Like, sometimes it doesn't matter what you do. There will be people that just, it goes both ways. No matter what you do, there'll be people that support you. No matter what you do, there'll be people that hate you. It goes both ways, bro, okay? I'm not saying, like, you shouldn't support him, whatever, okay? But if you see a friend, even some of my viewers, if you guys see me doing anything that I would consider immoral, or whatever, let me know. Let me know, because that's what good friends do. Good friends don't...
Again, this is one of those very manipulative behavior, because trying to make you sound like he is on your side. So everything from this point forward, we're looking at it from a perspective together. Like we're on the same side, because Dave is the only moral one, and we're all on the moral high ground here. This is what I said in the beginning. Like a lot of people don't pay attention to this in details, but now when I watch this entire time, I've only said to you guys this. I don't want your sympathy. And the same as what Phil said here, I don't want approval for what I did. It was wrong what I did, not joining voice chat, but there's a reasoning behind it. And if it gets me to that point, I will do it again, but I will try my best to never get myself to that point again. I will accumulate this experience going forward to never put myself in a situation where this have to happen. But this was not something as simple as it was. And he basically this entire thing was to align the entire streaming motion against me. And if you can't see it that way, just ask any other person who really understand how champ dynamic works to watch what he said here.
Don't let other friends do bad things, and that's why I tried so vehemently. Okay.
So if it's so bad, literally, basically, there's one thing, right, that happened with this tournament. Then why for 7-8 months we have to beg for simple things to happen? That's morally correct. DJ, you gotta understand. I don't know if you've seen this. I don't know if you've seen this, but let me tell you the truth of the thing. I came in from the team. If anyone's on Dave's side, it's me. If down Phil's side, if anyone's on Phil's side, it's me. If anyone, I'll show you the screenshot. The reason behind this is, look, because this is how team feels. Sam and Fui just usually don't vocalize their words, but this is how everybody. Let me read this one more time. Sam said, "Yes, me. When I asked, I saw a comment on Phil's stream. I'm truly disappointed. You and Fui wanted to him replaced for the longest time due to legitimate reasons, but I respected and loved Phil, so he was captain of the team. Let me ask you this. If you make another team, would you even invite Phil?" He said, "Yes, me, Fui, even Pika at one point thought it was best to kick Phil because there was difference in goals." This was discussed for hours and hours on end when Phil was not there, when he was playing his own thing. Because immediately after the stream, he will go play his own thing and leave us hanging over there, right? So we'll go analyze the streams. We'll go analyze the VODs after a stream, even after our trio solo duel, whatever. We'll talk as a team. After tournaments, we'll spend hours discussing today's matches and how everything works. Like that's what happened, right? So I told him. And he somehow wanted to seriously grind worlds, while Phil wanted to go for content. And I believe you wanted to try hard for worlds too, no? But you said Phil was too much value to get booted. That's exactly what happened. If anyone standed behind Phil, it was me through the entire time, because the team wanted to split ways, and I try to convince them, no, I believe in Phil. Let's try this out. Let's grind this out. And that's what we did. It was never that I was doing this everything all by myself. It was never that I disrespected him in any shape or form. If anything, it was the opposite. It's just our team, like I said, Sam's the nicest guy ever, and he doesn't really care about this game, right? He has a really good job outside, and he's doing really, really, really well in real life, right? So he just plays the game. So he's not really vocal. Mitz is the same thing. Mitz is a student, right? He's one of the nicest guys. He didn't really vocalize this.
Okay? 5 days in a row.
Thank you, Dad.
Constantly DMing him. I truly thought I was a good friend of Dave.
5 days in a row, I constantly DM'd him. You guys saw what happened, right? Did I not show you? Dave, don't speak for them. I never did. I just show you the DM, you all. Do you want me to show you again? This is not my words. What? This is not my words, Yul. That's why I said that the reason why I did what I did today is because Phil cringed me so hard with this reaction. He didn't show any background. He didn't show all the discussion that we had off the stream. He said basically he took the tip of the iceberg and blew it up as the one all that has nothing attached to it. This doesn't come from me, Yul. Like, this is not what I said. I just showed you that they're not vocal, but because they're nice people. So I have to take on the role, the bad guy role and the good guy role, to talk to Phil every time, to compromise, to find the middle point. I was showing you that it was not, as Phil said, that I disrespected him. If anything, I respected him.
I was a good friend of Dave. I saw him as a really good friend. So,
and you guys just saw this, right? You guys just saw this for 5 days in a row. They didn't play seriously because they had better. It's not that they play seriously or not. I'm saying that they're really successful outside. That's why they're probably nice and they don't really care about the streaming and content as much, which is true for Sam, right? Like, everyone on our team, Myth is a student, right? He has a bright future ahead of him. He's like 18 years old. He's working, making good money. That's what I said. I didn't speak for them at all. I said they have a good life outside of this game. Where for Phil and I, this was basically it, right? We're doing full-time content for Pokemon Unite. We're doing full-time content.
I tried my absolute hardest to get.
And like I said, he just said here again, he said he convinced 5 days in a row. When I just showed you, that was not what happened. 4 days before the tournament, I told him respectively, I cannot join for my mental health issues. I really can't. I was going crazy. I cannot join. I cannot join voice chat. The only way for me to stay sane and play, to at least play in this tournament, to be at least somewhat accountable to the team, is I play without voice comm, without being in the same room with Free. That's the point I was in, right? That's what happened after all this month, after everything I explained. And 4 days before the tournament, nothing was communicated for 2 days and then for Thursday before the tournament, it was communicated that Dave, join voice chat. I think no, it was Friday and Saturday. That's 2 days. Friday and the tournament day, because Friday we're actually playing and practicing, supposedly. And he agreed to not join voice chat, and he just said here again he begged for 5 days.
Get him to do the right thing. That's what you do to friends. Is that not what you do to friends, boys? Okay? Is that not what you do to friends?
Yes. Is that not what you do to friends?
You know your friend is about to make a stupid ass decision that is immoral. I say it's immoral because it's really immoral to like fucking Fui, Sam, everyone. We train so hard and you're gonna gimp our chances of winning in the final day because you just ego. You know, no, I don't want to talk with Fui today. Me and Fui have a falling out. Just set your fucking differences aside for 1 day, dude.
You see the whole thing? How is this not manipulative in any way? You tell me. I've already explained. We did not train for 8 months. We didn't. And you cannot possibly say that. We played together as a team for 8 months, but we did not train for 8 months. Even in the last 2 weeks, even in the last 3 weeks before the finals, after the qualifier, we trolled because of Phil, and we played random shit, and everyone in the team had to live with it and deal with it. How is that we trained for 8 months? How is this a fair argument with training for 8 months? And I'm just giving all that away. Like, I didn't know that. We played as a team for 8 months. Like, that's beyond me. I was not here. How is that fair? How is that fair to end it like that? How is that fair to end this drama like this? How is that fair? How is that fair? We had to deal with this, and for 3 weeks before finals, I begged the team to try hard, and we trolled for 2 weeks, and the Monday comes, Free did what he did, and those two did what they did. And then they said, Dave, now you need to be the bigger man, and forget about your mental, forget about everything, forget about it. Do it for us. I wanted to, I couldn't bear the thought of in the same room with Fui. I told them, I couldn't. After everything every time I'm in the proximity of this person, it reminded of all the pressure my team put it on me. It reminded of everything that, every time Phil complained about enemy coming bottom level 9, enemy jungle, because how we not able to execute our top lane. Like, and then Fui will blame the entire team. We established this. The team had a meeting. I told Fui, if you die before Beast alone, after we have discussed, the entire game is your fault. Everyone listened to this. Fui agreed with it. And he forgot everything we said, and he put entire blame on the team every time after a game. Like it was 100% our fault. Like, and this was all brushed off on Monday.
That's all I asked. Okay? That is, in my opinion, that is immoral. That is truly immoral. That is like, let's say those of you guys who work a job, right? Your boss says, yo, work for another 6 months, I'll give you a promotion, okay? You work for the 6 months, and then your boss never gives you a promotion. Would you consider that immoral? Immoral doesn't have to just be, like...
Here we go again. Like I said, this whole thing was manipulative and it was blown out of proportion because it's not true. Like I said, the whole premise is that we actually train and practice for a month and I'm doing it out of whim, out of ego because I don't like Fui. That's not what it is. The logic, the whole thing, the whole actual premises and foundation of why I did what I did is I was mentally broken because we couldn't practice a single day seriously. The only time we practiced was before, I think it was May or April, we had a tournament and somehow we did 2 weeks of scrims. I scheduled every day and Phil was in them. Remember those days? That's the actual practice we got. I admit to that and I appreciate Phil for playing those scrims. For taking my decision seriously, that let's do those scrims and practice. And look what happened in that month. We won multiple tournaments. We won the second place in the finals or whatever. We won one tournament against GG straight up. We won #1 place when GG, Black, and every team was in it, right? We won some other tournaments because we trained. You guys understand there's a huge difference between systematic training and trolling and pretending that we're training because we were. The competitive and casual play are very, very different. It's not the same thing. It's not that we can play, let's just play 5-man and you call that as practice. Those are not practice. It's not that I'm using strong words here. It's just facts, the premises of what he set up, of saying, oh, your boss said, if it works for 6 more months, I will give you a promotion. That's not what happened. We didn't practice. We trolled. And until last week, that's what happened. That's how we treated the last few days of practice. And that's your premises. That's your foundation of saying that we practiced.
Killing, stealing, that's now considered immoral. There's different degrees of immortality, as in immortality, immoral as in things that are not good, right? And it's definitely on the spectrum. It's truly a lot of pro players, bro. Pro players from other teams all message me, bro. I can't believe you guys have to deal with this. People from other teams, bro, can sympathize and see what's happening to us is so wrong. How could someone that I've been playing with for months not recognize that? How? I just don't understand, man.
Again, I want to say this again. I told the team, I recognized the action was not proper. I recognized the action was against everything I worked for, everything team worked for. I recognized it. It was not something that I brushed it off. Look what I wrote here, the first thing. Let's start with the first. For those who did not watch the stream, basically I was not connected to voice chat throughout today's group stage. This is committing what I did. I never avoided taking blame for this. This is what I did. I know what I did. But who put me there? Who put me there? I know what I did, man. I recognize it and said it publicly. I apologize publicly for what I did. I know what I couldn't. I said, I know what I did, but I couldn't handle the pressure. I just couldn't. Mentally, I couldn't do it. It's not something I hide saying, I'm blame everybody in the team except for me. I didn't join voice chat, blah, 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 blah. And there was nothing wrong with not joining voice chat. That's not what I said, all right? I recognize what it was. There are pro players talking to me also. Let me... You know what? Forget it. There are too many. Let's go.
If people on other teams hits me up hey, Phil, bro, thanks for sticking in there, bro. I know your situation is tough, bro. How could my own team, the team leader, the person that started the team, he has so much beef with Fui, by the way, okay? He brought Fui on the team. This time brought the beef in it. He bought the beef. He brought the beef, put it in his own house. You know? Okay, all that stuff aside,
Look at the entire chat at the point, right? Look at the entire chat at that point. The entire chat knows they have no compatibility bones in his body. The entire chat was roasting me from beginning to end, and he never said anything neutral. It was never the background was never explained. He never mentioned that. Whoa! By the way, we trolled for 2 weeks before finals. Oh, by the way, the only day before finals, this is what we did. He never understood the amount of pressure that was taken. Because for him, everything is just a game. Everything is just a bag, right? Phil is doing this practically as a stream, right? As a business to make money. I approach this stream very, very differently because I want to grow a community and eventually find sponsors. I want to milk the stream that way, right? That's why we don't take our membership money as the money I spend. It was not something that, it was just different philosophy. Continue.
He goes over why didn't I just like this is unjustifiable. In my opinion, this is, maybe I'm wrong, okay, but in my mind, until someone convinces me otherwise, okay, it's unethical. Yeah, unethical. Maybe immoral, unethical. I think they're about the same, right? Sorry if I use them intermittently, okay? So far, I have not seen a good reason from anyone, and I'm truly open to being having my mind changed. Any of my
I hope everything I explained for the previous few hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours to this point is a good reason. I truly hope that everything I explained to this point is a good reason. He said it was not a good reason. He said there was no reason for this. That's the only, basically the whole article was to explain this. The whole thing that I wrote was to explain this. The whole thing here, Phil, that's the reason.
Supporters that you think you can change my mind on this, or you see things in a different light that I don't see. I truly do not. I don't think this can be justified, in a good way. In my opinion, he should have, and he just titles this shit like the truth, as if we're lying. No one is lying, bro. I showed all the DMs. It's not a lie. This feels like a defense, as in he was slandered. No one slandered you, dude. We just put all the facts out there, and he's like, okay, guys, here is the truth, okay? No, dude. No one slandered anyone, bro, okay? He talks about all this.
By the way, he's making fun of the title. Like I said, the truth was not to say that nobody was lying. He was just omitting facts. It was not that what Phil said was wrong. In fact, everything laid out, basically there was only one thing, right? I didn't join the voice chat, which I laid out as the first thing in this entire article. He didn't have to say it because I said it. Everything he said was fact, yes. Basically, regarding I didn't join voice chat. The previous things I showed you, there was neglecting fact or straight up lying. Regarding how many days we actually trained, regarding how hard we actually tried for the tournament, regarding how many days he begged for me to join voice chat.
Play meta characters. I'm not gonna read through it because homie legit wrote a whole paragraph, okay? But here, I'll slowly scroll through it if you want to pause later on and read it, right?
All right.
But I'll and deflection. It's a lot of blaming and deflection.
Please go read it. Please go read the whole thing that I wrote, and tell me this is not a rundown for what happened. I simply write the streamline of how I felt in the game, how I felt the whole time. If you treat that as a deflection, then it is. I don't know what else to write. I don't know how else to write this. I don't know how else to not get flamed from Phil's chat, because he constantly brought it up like this was some kind of surprise on the tournament day, right before the tournament day. It was 4 days. I explained. I'll show this one more time. It was 4 days before. It was 4 days before the tournament. June 14th. June 14th. Okay, want to play 5 minutes without voice chat. Let's play tomorrow and Friday, I think. Let's play starting tomorrow. It was agreed upon. It was literally agreed upon as a general, as a premises for me to continue to play the game. Because I told him I can't be in the same room. I just can't. I couldn't handle it mentally. I couldn't. So that was the premises. And I got so much flame from his entire chat, and he blew this out of the proportion in the sense of it was not, everything that happened was not important. I understand. If I write it from my side of the story, it can't be treated as deflection. It can't be treated as blaming. I understand. If that's what it is, then be it. I'm not gonna apologize for it because I have to tell you guys my side of the story, what I experienced, so you understood. And everything I said here was fact. It was not that I blamed them. It was a fact that was wrote down that caused, like, understand this, what this tournament meant for me, that I have to stop, I have to not play the tournament. I have to tell the team that I'm done. For Phil, it might only mean to get more viewers and stuff. For me, no. For me, I genuinely want to win for the esports. Same as Sam, same as Miss, same as Fui. Because again, this foundation was built wrong. Like Phil wanted to do content. I wanted to win because I liked esports. The foundation was very, very different. The starting point was very, very different. Everything I wrote here was what happened, and point out one thing I said that was wrong, that was false in this entire thing, and I will take the whole article down. I guarantee you. If this is a deflection, if this is a blame, just because I told my story, then be it. Be it. Just accept it as it is. You don't have to. If it's blaming, you don't have to take as the blaming side. Just remember, this is what happened. This is the timeline, and this is why we had so much problem. This is why I couldn't take it anymore. Like I said to you, there were different. The foundation was built wrong, and I take blame for it because I loved Phil and I respected him. But he wanted. I didn't say the rest of the boys didn't want to win. I said I felt so guilty that and my initial goal was not to play the game. Not goal. My initial solution at the time, like to not completely mentally break. At the time was I'm not gonna play the game anymore. Let's forget it. Pretend this never existed. Past a month of like us playing together, forget it. Let's not play this tournament anymore. But I felt really, really bad towards the team. I really did, and I know what I did was not right. I said to the team, I said this again. I knew everybody wanted to win, but for different reasons. And the actions proved otherwise, right? Everyone wanted to win. Then everyone wanted to win so hard. Then why we have to beg 40 hours for 1 hour of Sympathy Blissey game? Guys, if everyone wanted to win so bad, and Phil understood more than anyone else that Blissey was the most broken character in the game. There's a reason for it. He literally counters every single meta characters. Right? To a point where Sam was playing Blissey as a freaking attacker in our tournament. You guys understood how broken Blissey is in the meta, right? That's why every team run it except for us. That's why it was. Why is that he wanted to win so bad that we have to beg him just because he didn't like to play as a team dynamic?
And it's like why did I do X? Well, it's because Fui never did Y. Well, I only did C because Phil never did X, or stuff like that, And this is the funniest part, bro. This is literally the funniest paragraph. Like how could you even type this? Adding oil to the fire. At the moment when Fui threatened his exit to the team, he didn't threaten his exit. He just left.
I wrote theatered. I think I wrote theatered his exit. Right? I didn't write threatened.
Leaving us dumbfounded for the tournament. That happening in 5 days. Phil swooped in. Instead of looking at the play and realizing it was 100% Fui's fault, okay? For being an arrogant little man-child, okay? Here's the sin I committed, boys. You all ready for the sin I committed? Phil decided to act like a good guy for both sides. Be an actor one day, boys. I need to be an actor. Apparently I'm acting. I'm acting like a good guy for both sides.
I hope you understand this at this point. This might be misunderstood by a lot of people. I've explained this in detail today. Why I explained to Phil also why it was wrong to do that. There's a time and place to act the way he does. There's a time and place to do that. At the time when I was already so stressed, when Sam was arguing about something that was completely irrelevant to like why Fui just left the team, left us, and then I watched the entire thing that we actually tried for. Mostly everyone on the team, right, who actually didn't troll, to be flushed away down the toilet because Freed not able to say, hey, let's practice seriously and I made those mistakes, let's move on. Right, next game, if we're on the green side, let's stick to our plan, let's play defensive. We had a game plan, he didn't stick to it. And Sam was he wasn't listening to what the argument was. He was showing why details of the play, which doesn't matter. And Phil actually swooped in and become the good guy. I told Phil and Sam, the problem was not when Free left the team, when he theatered his exit. Right here, when Free theatered his exit, when he left the team and left the group chat, I was still gonna play the tournament. I was still gonna play it because I know that's Free, right? He's gonna come back. I was just arguing about the play, say, okay, even if we don't play today seriously, we'll waste the day because of him. Sure. Tomorrow we'll still have another chance, right? So I played, because you guys remember, go back to the stream. I continued to play, I finished the argument, and continued to play. And if Phil played like the good guy, and the entire time, he was laughing it off like I'm some kind of dumbass where I was forced to take 50% of the blame. Because he's a streamer, he's the content creator, and because he is that, it's justified to make fun on somebody's emotions. You're absolutely right, Dummy Gold. Like I said, I respected Phil for making content, but it's at a sacrifice at a time of my mental energy. I was listening to it, and I couldn't take it anymore. So if you guys remember, at the end of the stream, at the end of the game, I left. I just left. After one game, I left. I'm done. I couldn't do it anymore. That's not the point, Sparks. That was not the point. The point was there was no right or there was a clear right or wrong in that scenario, and we had to try. Everybody's mental was on. Everybody was stressed, and we don't have a lot of time, right? We trolled for 2 weeks because of who? Sparks. You were watching, right? Why did we troll for 2 weeks? Why do we not? You guys if you were watching my stream, you understood. Like I was losing faith because every day that we troll, every day I watch every other team, they don't even stream anymore. Everybody was screaming, everybody was practicing as firemen, and every day was forced to play. Majority of the time was troll picks, was nothing important. Every single day for 2 weeks, and finally we come to a resolution on the tournament before Monday, and we come to a solution. Hey, let's just forget about everything else. Let's try for 1 week, and that's how Free acted for a day, right? For the first day, and then instead of calling us it is, and then when convinced Free to come back and stop doing that, I had to take the blame. I just had to. Phil was trying to keep the team in one piece, and that was your right decision to go with just before the tournament. That was the right decision to go. You have to understand. After all that I explained, I hope you understand the team was in this situation because of two things. I didn't remove Phil from the team earlier because I respected and loved him. And because the conflict of the majority of the team wanted to play serious, and Phil wanted to troll for content. I think playing serious is also content. I watch a lot of big streamers who play seriously and don't really pay attention to the chat, right? Like I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm saying that during the game, most of the streamers, like the good streamers I enjoy watching, focus on the game because I'm watching it for the show. That's what that's what I watch for. So I thought to cat Phil initially, even though we were on to go competitive, was that we have a real shot of playing competitive as content. You try to turn a casual into a pro player. Yeah, Blackbeard. That's basically it. It was my fault that foundation was set. That was I didn't make a decision earlier, and it was my fault, and I take blame for it.
Besides, guys, this is my sin. This is my sin right here, boys. This is my sin.
And the fact that he's making fun of it, and the team... Look, this is what I was saying. because it was not explained in the grander scope of things, and everybody was laughing at it in a sense where that was not important. Like I said, whatever Free did not break me from the game. I was still hanging on, like I was still trying really hard. Go back and watch my action, because action speaks louder than freaking words, guys. I played the game. I continued to play despite the argument, despite that we had those kind of arguments. I continued to play, but they were laughing it off, and then Phil was playing the good guy in that scenario. How is that fair to me at that point, to be stressed to that point and continue to listen to that? Like, how is that fair, guys? How?
Wrong. Okay? On a team with 5 players, I chose to not take sides and I tried my best to keep the team together.
The team was together. Phil was just a nice guy on stream. The team had a problem because we are a team. We were never supposed to be a team to begin with, and I take blame for that. But that's, and then it was a lot of it was caused because I tried to turn a casual player, a entertainment streamer, into a serious streamer.
No, Phil, you wrong for that, Phil. Phil, why didn't you believe in me? Okay, why didn't you side with me, Phil? Okay? Part of the reason why we have some drama is like, Dave just likes yes men, bro. Dave, I'm not gonna be your yes man, bro. Truly not. And I said it multiple times, I don't care about the play.
That's not yes or no, man. You guys see what I'm saying here? It's all try to align himself with the chat. That's not a yes man. I saw what I show you guys who I chat with. I show you guys the VIP chat. I've never really had, like, I have few supporters who really just believed in me in every step along the way, and I really appreciate that. I do appreciate it. I don't need a yes man, but that was a clear cut of what happened, and I told him I was obviously emotionally stressed. And this was made fun of on the stream, right? Again, everything was my fault, because I only surround myself with yes men. Apparently, like, my longest supporter were all yes men. Right? This was a yes message.
Sam cared about the play. He tried to convince you about the play. You were not listening to it. Okay? I just tried. My job on the team is self-imposed. Okay?
Did you understand this, right? He just described why this was it. Phil never really paid attention to the play itself. He paid more attention. In fact, majority of the stream, and he will easily admit to this. He paid about 60% attention to the chat than the game itself, which is fine as a streamer, as an entertainer. It's something I'm trying to learn. But it's not fair to us as a team, because imagine your defender not looking at a minimap, like, for 5%, even 10% of the game. Like, this is to Blackbeard's point. Casual never understand the pro scene div. Here's the thing. It's not that I've asked Phil, I truly never get it, how you're able to read chat like that frequently during the game. And I watch his stream often to find out the solution. He never pans map. And he really look at a minimap to see what's going on, to understand the macro of the game. And that's why there was always problems. And then that's why I try to help him to improve. I said, you got to look at it and try to practice every game to have 50 to 80, 60%, even more of your time to pay attention to the minimap, to pay attention to the macro rotation of the game, because that's a defender's role. And then you can decide to engage, and I'll follow up on this engage. You cannot... like, look at a play. He just said, Sam pointed out a good play, and he was trying to argue for the play. I told him he did not even listen to what we were arguing. I just explained that you guys saw, and go back to listen to the entire conversation. Watch that stream if you want to, if you have the time, for an hour or so, and listen to the conversation and see what happened. He didn't listen to a word that we were discussed about. He didn't listen to a single word why we were even discussing in the first place. That's why he tried to be the middleman, the nice guy, for nothing. He was discussing a play. I didn't say Sam's play was right or wrong, what he said about, like, what Toon does or what other jungler does. I didn't say what he said. I told Sam it's not what he said was right or wrong. It's that we had a game plan with Fui. For hours and hours of discussion, hundreds of hours of many discussions, we had a plan, right? And our goal practice was follow up on that plan. That's it. That was it. And Fui went against it on command because he wanted to. He didn't care. Look at his attitude at the time. Because he wanted to. That was, and I said, and my whole argument with Fui is we had no time. Stop this. And they were arguing about a play. I was like, why are we arguing about a play?
Okay, and no one ever assigned me this position. But my job on a team is just to keep the morale high. Okay, and I saw morale was going down. And he's like, yeah, Phil's acting like a good guy, bro. He knew I was right. He was just pretending to be a good guy. Know if you're right.
Like I said, he didn't listen to any word we talked about.
And so you think now looking back at it, talking to Sam, I think you're wrong actually, bro. Sam sent me videos of Toon doing the level 4.
He's still showing the play. He's still showing the play. All right, there were 2 questions. I think this is gonna be it. Reacting to this. Rest of it was just him making fun of.
Clear.
I'll show you a few main points, and I have to get off here. I want to address some questions. People regarding why Glock was kicked, and then there are 2. I never publicly discussed it, but Glock made a big deal in public, and then basically made me look like a clown in like for single-handedly kicking him. By the way, this is not a single decision that I made. It was discussed with the team. Phil was the only person who were not supporting it because he didn't think that, I don't know I don't know the reason behind it. I see his side where he said if you kick someone based on one mistake that I made, it was bad. It was not based on one mistake that was bad. Regarding Glock didn't really have a lot of synergy with the team. There was frequent argument between Glock and the rest of the team, right? As you guys saw at the time. And his whole philosophy is, I'm the best. I don't need to, learn anything. I don't know how many people remember at the time when I was playing Gengar and Glock was playing Hoopa, and I said, Glock, can you learn Shadow Ball and then the hyperspace hole? I don't know how many people remember that. I said it combos with Gengar, right? Because you can call a target, I can go in and you can stun, lower their defense, and I can be ported back instead of dying, right? It will work really well for early game coordinations. He didn't even understand what a hyperspace hole interaction with the Shadow Ball was. He didn't know the hyperspace hole skill triggered the Shadow Ball stun. He didn't even know that. And he basically yelled at me for the entirety of the stream for something he didn't even know. I don't know how many people remember that. That was just one scenario out of many scenarios out of that where it's really hard to talk to Glock about how to work as a team. And then regarding that, and we played in a tournament. And if you guys really want to see, I can show you guys the clip because it's so cringe that this was brought up against me. And then and everyone just took his words face value. So I'm going to show you for the first time in public of what happened, because tournament's over, I don't really care anymore. Of exactly what happened, and you guys will understand why this decision was made as not just like as one play, but this was representation of many plays. Here we go. Don't cringe yourself over the voice comm, okay? But here is what happened. This is the tournament. This is the final play. Watch this. Can we poke the tree? Can we poke the tree?
Yeah, poke him.
Look at a Glock, okay? He waits to unite. Use your unite.
Sadly. I need to get cargo, man. I'm not there with you, bro.
Yo, just wait.
Unite you there?
You gotta use your unite, Glock. Glock! Everybody died on the team. He still wouldn't use unite. I don't know what happened, but he just wouldn't. The only thing he said to the whole thing when I called to him to use unite. Basically, by the way, I want to tell everybody on the stream, for people who did not understand this, okay? We discussed with the Clock again before the stream why we need to do what we did, okay? I told everyone on the team we had a clear plan going to this. Hoopa need to unite first, the first one to unite, like any other team does, because this unite lasts the longest and it's broken. It does way too much damage, it can solo any hyper carries. So if the enemy jungle comes in, Hoopa unite first as the first one to fight. And I save my unite in the very end to clean up, so we win, because our team comp focuses on winning team fights, right? So we need to win it right. And then look, this is what happened.
Can we poke the tree?
So we're just poking the tree, right? And everybody know the game plan. Talon Flame used Unite here, completely wasted it, did nothing with it, right? At this point, Glock needed Unite. He did not do it intuitively, and this guy was diving me, so I was begging Glock, you guys hear from my tone, to Unite.
He wasted Unite. Use your Unite.
Look at what he was just observing on the side. With Unite available. And he said, I don't have Unite either. Like, I'm blind. The reason why I wanna bring this up is because this was asked so many times when Glock was kicked. And it was always to our disadvantage. The reason why we never talked about this, because I respected him and I want him to have a successful career. I never interfere. And I told him ahead of times, I don't think our team has good synergy because our personalities and stuff. Let's respectively leave each other alone so you can find another team before the tournament so you can still join the tournament. I did what I did. I literally did what I did. And I didn't show this. You guys just saw what happened on the outside where like this is what happened and we lost the team fight. You guys did not know like what happened in the game. You guys did not know. Everybody in the team, everyone in the team want Glock removed. I just acted on it because I'm a captain. That was number one. For everybody who's asking, because there were literally no synergy. It's not to talk shit about Glock, okay? I never do, and I don't care. I love everyone, and I respect Glock even afterwards. But you know what happened after that incident, and he didn't say a whole word the whole time, and he said the only thing that came out of his mouth after the whole day of tournament was, you are mental booming me. I'm out of here, and he left. And he wrote this whole emotional thing on Twitter about like how we're abusing him, whatever. Like, I was like, what just happened? And I still didn't put this online because I don't care. He put us on Discord, he put it on everywhere because I don't care. I respected him. I want him to have a successful stream, right? I don't care, but it was blown out of proportion. And now it's really, I don't care. So I just want to show you what exactly happened. I took all the blame without a single rebuttal. There's only a few people who knew this because I tried to get other players to join the team and they were asking me why Glock was kicked. And then they said, everybody's dissing you in the Discord because Glock was saying bad shit about you. So.
And you were saying, no good jungler would do that clear. Toon's doing the clear.
He's still talking about the play.
He's not play with the team because we weren't playing the way he wanted to play. You know, and then it's an inside joke. It's an inside joke between me of winning.
He said
whatever I want. I love it. But then when I want to innovate and play something else, they're like,
oh, here's talk about innovation thing.
I'm okay with him picking non-meta picks.
You see how he looked up innovate, and then he was making fun of what I said here. Like I said, English is not my strong suit. Maybe like I don't find the best word to describe things. Like, and then if I say the wrong word, I apologize if it was portrayed the wrong way. But do you guys sincerely agree that Crosso, like I don't want to ask anyone on the team, I want to ask the pro players who played. Yeah, Glock's a good person. I liked him. I just didn't respect any of the drama he initiated afterwards. But I still respected him enough to not do anything related to clip before the tournament. And he just kept on going with it. But the thing is, I want to ask anyone who understand or who played competitive MOBA, like, why were we practicing something that's 100% reliant on flip? Why do we innovate Crossel? It's not a serious strategy to practice. It's something that you can do, but it's not like we can do it for 1 or 2 games as a pocket pick, but it's not something you practice for month on end and treat it as a serious comp. That's not how any team, how any pro player or any decent competitive player plays. And Phil treated this as something that was that I was being dictatorial, whatever how to say that word. I was somehow, when I ask suggestively to the team what I think is the right comp to practice, and if you have something against it, you have any other options, say it. And ask anyone in the team if that's not what I said with Duradon. He brought up the screenshots with Duradon later.
I love it.
It was like basically everything I recommended. If it has to be done, it has to be done. That's not what I said at all. That's not anywhere close to what I said. I suggested it based under the premises that we have a lot of limitation with our comp. Pika's in the chat too. Pika is not a good pick. Wasn't even picked once in the regional tournaments. I don't care. A tyrant. Okay, yeah. He portrayed me as this tyrant who has to get my way. Like I don't really get it. We are the only team who do those things because other players who are actually competitive players understood why certain things didn't make any sense. It's not that, for example, guys, let me give you a simple explanation. For the longest time, Phil wanted to make Blastoise defender work, right? He was playing Blastoise and he was telling Sam to play Pikachu. And I have to play other stuff to make it work, right? Like I forgot what I was playing. I think it was Gengar or something. I don't remember. I needed farm. I'm a peasant jungler, right? In our team, in the entire Unite competitive scene. Because you think about that composition for a second. He was playing Blastoise, right? Pika needs farm to get his Unite. Phil needs farm to get his level 7 and eventually get his level 13 because he always wanted level 13 on a defender. I needed farm as a jungler. We don't have that much farm, especially with this comp because our early game is weaker. So the bigger chances are we're always behind early game. So there's not a lot of farm on the map, and we're forcing that to work. So I explained to him with hours on end how that is not logical because of the game, not because of what I wanted or not. And everybody would easily agree to this if you're sensical. It's not something that I said just because this is what I said. It has to be true. That's not a foundation of this argument. It has never been that way, and he portrayed it in a way that I only want my way or the highway. That's it.
Dan play whatever he want. I love it. I don't care. Dave play whatever he want. I love it. But then when I want to innovate and play something else, they're like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. Nope. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that, bro. You're trolling if you play Crustle.
Yeah, you're not. I think I get his point. He's not trolling when he's played Questo. I think everybody on that's why probably Sam when he played Cramorant and anything else but anything we need to practice. That's why if we started playing anything top, then what we need to practice. That's why people start getting on Smurfs because it was only me who see this as a troll. You gotta understand, defender has a particular role to play. Doesn't matter what you play. It has to make sense. I explained it on stream before. If Phil comes to the team and says, "Guys, I'm playing Blastoise, but I'm playing Surf," right? He's playing about. If you are talking about a play, no, I'm not complaining about teammates. I'm complaining. I'm talking about his argument. It's not that I'm talking about this, like I'm blaming him. I'm saying what he said is BS, and he's manipulating chat to think the same way he think because it's on a superficial level. Because, like I said, there's a huge difference between competitive play and casual play. I can pick Crustle anytime in casual. If you guys want me to play it, I would do it. I said if you donate $25 on stream, I'll play anything with any build. I've done Gengar with EXP share as appreciation for the stream. I would do it. It doesn't matter as casual play. You can win with anything in this game in casual play. In Fireman, you have to think about your team. You cannot play Crustle is a very selfish character. It's not a character that has any coordination or synergy with the team. It doesn't. It's a pure rip. That's what it offers. But if other team doesn't give you access to any objectives because you fall behind, then you don't have that object. You don't have that. And we were proven that against the team that we need to win against, which is the top teams. We're winning against random teams all the time, and it took it to win it against some good teams to surprise them. And then they reacted to it. We even won against Blackhand one time, and then they knew, okay, they're gonna rip Zapdos on at 2-minute spawn. So they came to the center. Everybody knew what we did, and we never succeeded again against any good teams with Crustle. Because it doesn't work. It's easily countered, right? It's a pocket pick that cannot be used regularly. It has to be done in a surprise way, and we don't need to practice that. There's nothing we need to practice about that, but we were forced to do it for month on end because Phil wanted to do it. Otherwise I'm a tyrant.
I play Gardevoir, that's not trolling. When I play Gengar, that's not trolling. Okay, guys, I'm playing Gengar. Build a team around me. Okay, that's...
You see how this is portrayed this way, right? You guys have to understand. You guys have to understand how he analyzes this. This is so wrong in so many different ways. The entire logic is reversed. The entire logic is reversed. Because I only played Gardevoir and Gengar to fulfill a certain role. For them, for me, I don't have any connection to those characters the way that Phil did have with them, with the character he wanted to play, and force us to play around it. Literally, you don't play around any single character. You have to play around the team, right? That's the whole point of competitive. And he blamed this everything, basically saying that if I play Gengar, Gardevoir, that's not trolling. That he's portraying as I am saying that, which is I never said, and it's something that he did himself. As a defender role, there's certain things you have to provide for the team because it's a competitive environment. It's not that I go against him playing Crustle because it doesn't provide anything for the team except for ripping that objective. But if we're denied access, it doesn't happen. That's why we don't practice it. We can do it in competitive. I explained this to the team many times. We can do it. I'm okay to do it. Like I said, we did it in tournament. But how is that a good argument to train that, to play that every single day though? Like how is that? Everything I explained to the team behind the scene, you guys don't know, is I patiently, because I respect and loved Phil, I patiently explained every single logic aligned with the game for hours on end why certain thing doesn't work. And go ask Phil if I did or did not do that. Go ask Phil how many times we were discussing off the stream about certain picks didn't work, and he does it because I made a thumbnail for it. Tell me. It's literally the whole thing, the whole time he's portraying me as this tyrant who only wants my way or the highway. But that's the opposite of the truth. Like I was only filling in what the team needed. Like I said, I have no opinions on Gengar or Gardevoir. I can play Cinderace if my team needed me to. I can play Greninja, but that's not the case. I don't have zero protection. Just like Sam was feeling, he didn't play Duraludon for one reason. He felt zero protection because we don't have a Blissey. How is that so hard for him to understand? So hard for him to understand, and then portray this in the way that he wanted to on his stream to manipulate everybody's emotion against me. Well, how is this fair? I only want to write this article, and that was it. And he made fun of it and monetized this the thing that I have to pour out the entire story just so that I don't get that much hate or threat anymore in freaking DMs, just so that I don't get trolls come to my chat asking the same question and blame me for 1,000 times for the things I apologize for.
That's not trolling. When I say, let's play Crustle, let's build a team around me, right? Here, we talk about this. This is what I mean by, I say he doesn't respect other people's opinions, okay? Okay. I said, don't troll.
This is what I want to discuss in this call.
Let's set up a comp, we test, okay? Okay, blah, blah. For 1 hour, win or lose, let's test. So.
This is after countless of hours of begging and team discussion that you guys did not see on stream. That we asked. No, I need to finish the whole thing because it's so cringe. I need the whole, so you guys see like the true background of this, and I need to finish with a finished argument. We begged for it. We did 1 hour testing. He didn't like it. It was done. It was done. That's it. For 1 hour, win or lose, we test. That's it. We didn't test anything.
Dave, you guys know I don't like playing Blissey, right? But Dave wants to play Blissey and try Duraludon. I'm like, okay, try your composition because I respect you, okay? All right? As a team, like I respect it, so and then I did. You guys know.
Action-wise, This is all I'm gonna say. I'm done talking about this. I've already told you. We explained this as a team, right? The reason why I want to try Duraludon again, seriously, is because we cannot do anything in the jungle as hypercarry that has Rip and Secure at the same time. So I play something that can protect Sam. Basically, we listed Sam as a hypercarry, and I will play something that can help the team. Gengar-wise or Gardevoir-wise, whatever the Pokemon that serves a particular role for that particular game. And then I recommended we try this. Safeguard Blissey to help, because Sam was feeling, the reason why, he didn't want to play because there was zero protection. When I was playing Safeguard Blissey for Sam that one day, remember like one time, Phil wanted to do jungle? And I was playing, I don't know how many people was here. I was playing Blissey. Go ask Sam how he felt that day playing Duraludon. Just go ask him. Like, if that was the case when we played, it was never supposed to. We were never have this problem. We're literally never have this problem. We're building a comp regarding how the team objective works, right? And then the reason why I recommended this is because our limitations top, right? Our limitations as a whole as a team. And he was bringing this up to portray me as a tyrant because I didn't allow him to play Crustle. I didn't like it when he played Crustle. And it was totally not true at all for him to play Crustle. And if I asked him to play Duraludon, that it's a crime.
No, I did play Blissey, right? I would play Blissey. But here's the problem. Try to ask him, okay? Like, okay, I respect you, Dave. Let's try your comp. Can you respect me too and try my composition? And I said, all right, I'm down. But tomorrow, I want to run a flip comp.
Basically, Crustle. Like I said, I'm done talking about this, guys. This is the end of the discussion. I just want to say this. I want to take accountability for everything that happened for a few accounts. Number one is obviously directly I didn't join voice chat, and I hope I don't ask for your forgiveness. I don't ask for your sympathy. I don't ask for anything related to that. It was my fault, and I own up to it. Because I lost all interest in playing with our team. I literally did. I couldn't take it mentally. I believe me or not. Just remember, just trust the actions. I was most accountable person on the team. Listed every single strategy we have done so far, except for Phil's flip comp, which is not a strategy. It's just basically playing Crustle in a 50-50 every single objective. That's not a strategy. It's something that you can take out to surprise your enemy, but I don't think it's a real strategy. It's been proven over and over again to be it's not a legit comp, and it doesn't take any brain to think how to counter it. It doesn't take any brain to think it up to begin with. And if you can disagree with me, but I think majority of anyone who is sensical to understand like why that is. Okay, but I want to take a few account. Number one is I did not join voice chat, and I don't ask for your sympathy, but I hope you understand this was not as simple or as black and white as it is, and I hope we stop the blame game on each other. Like after this is done. This is the only thing I want to put out there, because yesterday in the end when I was watching this, I couldn't sleep until 5 a.m. in the morning. I can show you. I was talking to Sam. He didn't sleep for some reason. I was talking to Sam all the way until like literally 4 o'clock in the morning, and I stared at the ceiling. I just sat up because I couldn't sleep. This does not sit well with me. What Phil said on stream to obviously. Like to do it immediately after the stream was obviously a milking behavior, right? Because he wanted to turn the entire stream, including my viewers, against me. So everything can go towards his favor. This is not something I speculate. This is just action. And I feel really bad about it because I respected him and loved him. I hope you guys see action over words. Over the past 8 months, any pro teams would easily benched any player like this because Phil doesn't belong in the competitive field. He is a content creator, and I respect him for it. He's a content creator, right? Like I want to be a content creator, but I'm on the competitive side of the content creation. I think there is an angle to make competitive gameplay fun, right? And explain and bridge that with the rest of the stream, with the rest of the community. I think there's a bridge, and I wanted to do it. But again, the second account that I want to take accountability for is my initial decision 8 months ago. I mean, over the entire period of playing the same roster, of keeping the same roster here, because it's not right to keep few people who are really competitive, like Fui, like Sam, like Myth, to play, and me, who truly want to win the correct way, who want to have a decent game with a decent comp, who want to play something that makes sense in your brain because it's how competitive works. Instead of forcing something that's super cringe to work and it show some stats with it to say, oh, look, we won with this. We knew what we knew. We were in those games. But that's not how everybody felt about it. It was my fault. To keep it like that. Again, I respected Phil and for everything that he did. He was very practical with his approach to stream, to unite as a content, but it was not fair for what he did yesterday, and it didn't sit well with me because it was just not fair. First of all, to immediately talk about this right after a day after the stream. To joke about it, so from beginning to end, to troll for many weeks in a row before the finals, and it gave us no time to practice, gave us 0 day of serious practice. The entire team, Free was tilted beyond belief. Sam was start playing random shit because, okay, I guess we're just play this again because we're doing crosso again. Go ask him that if that's actually what happened. For 2 weeks after we won the qualifier. And then to come here and to say that we trained for 8 months, to come here to put out all this incorrect information and doesn't show any to show what happened behind the scene is just beyond me. To incite the entire community against me, because we have built a community together, right? People who support both FF, both everybody in FF, supported Sam, supported Free, supported me, supported Phil. We have an interchangeable community. To do this right after a tournament in this way is very unprofessional. And then I understand what I did was wrong. I did, but if I was pushed to that point, I would do it again or not play the tournament completely because I can't handle it. I'm sorry. I apologize for you. I apologize to everyone who took it the wrong way. Said, why did I not join voice chat? Who didn't understand the background. I'm sorry for what I did. And then unfortunately I couldn't. Doesn't matter how hard I worked for it. Doesn't matter how many hours I invested outside the game that you guys did not see. Doesn't matter how much time I wasted to deal with this kind of cringe, to make things work. That's just full cringe. Doesn't matter. The action was wrong. And I don't encourage anyone to do it. I don't encourage anyone to not join voice chat, but I also do want to remind everyone going forward. If you're on a former team and there's a misalignment of goals, you have to make sure everybody's goal is the same. And they want to do it in the same way. If you don't want to take the same path, don't form the same team. Right? Initially, I thought I want to make a content team with Phil, and I 100% was standing behind that decision. And I think he's a brilliant content creator. And I think he's very dedicated. Right? But literally at the time, I made a mistake when Free and Sam asked about giving competitive one last shot. I thought it was a legitimate option. I literally thought it was a legitimate option because this is supposed to be my last chance. The game is so easy. As long as you train as a team, you have 5 friends who have one goal. You can make competitive fun. At the same time, you have a really, really good journey. But that was the opposite of what I initially imagined. They would only create more problem because there were misalignment of goals, eventually caused misalignment of actions. And misalignment of actions literally just made everybody confused. Nobody knew what's going on. Nobody knew why we were trolling 3 weeks before finals. Nobody knew why we were trolling 2 weeks before finals. And nobody knew, and nobody understood why what happened on Monday meant so much to me. And why it broke me so hard. When everybody was laughing, I was sitting in the court. I was sitting here, not knowing what to say. My entire losing faith in everything I believed in. That we're about to destroy everything that I worked for. And everybody's laughing about it. And people are playing nice guys, not recognizing what the real problem was. It was very sad to me. Again, I thought I'm missing here. Let's play duo trio. I love everyone on the team. I respect them for different reasons. And yesterday when I was watching the replay of Phil's stream, he said, me, Myth, Fui, Sam were still friends, and then Dave is not. That truly broke my heart. I stood against everyone's majority decision to actually have a different roster without Phil. I stood against it. I was the only one who stood against it because I believed in him. I really did. This entire time, I believed in him. My girlfriend, Miss Assassin, was saying the same thing. So why are you guys want different things? Why do you keep on playing with Phil? I said I believe in him. Because he's a smart guy. This is easy stuff to understand. But it was opposite of it was. I respect him. I respect him for different reasons. Yaiko Gomez. I respect Fui for being one of the best solo queue players I've seen. You have to understand, he got to master from solo with 95% win rate. I have never seen anyone do that. I don't see Chris Hero do that. I don't see anyone else do that. Maybe it's luck. It has a lot to do with it because I have won like 20 something games in a row in solo queue also. In 2200 master rank, I've done it. Right, a lot of time have something to do with luck because this game is kind of flippy, right? But it's also not just that simple. So this is gonna be it, guys. I just want to briefly talk about it because it has rubbed me the wrong way, and I don't think this was done properly. I want everyone to understand this was not as simple as what Phil said, and then I didn't want to start any drama at all. But the day of the tournament, not the day of the tournament, the entire week after Monday, I just couldn't play the game anymore. I just couldn't. I couldn't join the game. I couldn't join voice call. I couldn't bear the thought of being in the same room with someone who did this to me. I couldn't do it. Doing it means, I don't know what it means to me, but it was at a point that I just couldn't do it. So I hope you guys understand. I hope you guys understand. That's all I do. You can blame me for the action alone, but I hope you guys understand there's a much bigger story behind it. That's it. Thank you so much.